What is up, homies and homelets? I don't know what I would call the female, but what is good? What is good, YouTube? It is your boy Havoc, and I'm back with another episode of Chaos Kast, y'all. It has been a while. It's been a hot minute. I've been doing stuff in the background, trying to keep my life together. But we already got 5 people in here. You 5 people are some of the luckiest motherfuckers here because we are gonna talk about that fucking blue rat again. But before we jump in, let me say hey to everybody. What is up, Dorito? What is up, love of my life, Junie? What is up, Kyra? Glad that you guys are here. Called them eggs. Honestly, I should. My homies and my eggettes. You guys remember Eggette? You guys remember that meme? I honestly wish that Eggette was a real thing, but I guess technically we did get Eggette through fucking Sage. But we got a couple of videos that I want to watch today. I've been collecting different things to look at and react to across the fan base, and I found quite a few videos. That there's a lot of stuff that I actually want to cover over the coming days and such. But we're just gonna tackle 2 today. This stream I don't plan on becoming like super long. The fact that my girlfriend calls me like that's funny. Also phones. Okay, there we go. Now my audio is in my headphones. This is my fucking 3rd day out here, bro. But how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing all right. Okay, so we have a couple of videos to look at today. Let me just go ahead and open it up. Maybe moderator you fool? I thought I already did. I hope all of this is Sonic related. Yeah. No, all of this is Sonic related. Trust me. Like I said, I've been going out of my way to specifically collect things, specifically talking about Sonic. No more of that old shit. If I can help it. There was one video that I was originally going to do that was about a Sonic fan, but then I was like, no, it's too close to the other stuff. Let's see, add as moderator. There we go. Okay, you should be mod now. Yeah. No, we're like I said, I'm purposely going out of my way to make sure that the stuff that I do from now on is specifically just, talking about that. Yeah, talking about that blue rat. Talking about that blue fucking rat. Okay. So I recently changed my my what's it called? My thing. My not search engine, but my fucking not my search engine, but god damn, I can't think of the word, but my browser. I recently changed my browser, so now I'm gonna mainly have my browser be Chrome. I'm enjoying it so far. So I don't know if I'll stick with Chrome or if I'll ever go back to Edge or whatever. For all I know, maybe I'll get bored of Chrome and I'll want to try Safari or some stupid shit like that. Yes, now you have the wrench. You see a Jane video? Oh yeah, a video about Jane. That's another series that I want to start talking about at some point. Is The Walking Dead, because if you guys didn't know, not only do I love Sonic, but I love me some Walking Dead as well, and I've been considering actually going through and playing some of the Walking Dead games. If you guys haven't already subbed to the Havoc Stream channel, Havoc Streams channel, you should go ahead and fucking do that. I think I might have a thing. Not only do I love. I think I might have a thing that I could put in the chat so you guys can find the channel. I think. Let me see if it works. If it doesn't work, then I'll have to figure it out later. I don't know if that's gonna work. You could add to this. There's a video that compared the new Sonic racing game to Mario Kart, and it's actually really good. You could add to this. If the stream ends up being too short, I could add that towards the end, because I was really going to stream for 2 hours. But if people are enjoying the stream enough, I could probably fit another video in there. So if you want to send that to me on Discord, please tell me to you go through the Walking Dead games. I do want to go through the Walking Dead games. Yeah, I absolutely do. Maybe I'll play that next, because I finished Sonic 2, and I'm looking for something else that I want to play before I get to Sonic 3. And it was a toss-up between just going to Sonic 3 anyway, or playing the first Danganronpa game. But I would want to specifically wait until DNA is there, because he says he's never played it. And so I wouldn't want to play it specifically for him. But yeah, if people are enjoying the stream enough, I get enough, retention from people enjoying the stream, then if you want to send me that video, we can maybe throw that on the end. How long is that video though? That's the thing, because the two videos that I wanted to watch today were this one by Kiro Talks and this one by Sonic Cup, which of course are 10 minutes and 9 minutes respectively. So how long is that video? But for the time being, let's start with this video, the weird Sonic Generations character placements. I have watched this video before, and personally, I have a lot of problems with it, and I was going to go through a lot of the problems here, because I was like, I want to talk about why I specifically think this video is very redundant and strange, which is funny because it has 95,000 views and so many likes, which is fine. You know, the video itself looks great, but I just think the message that it sets out to see just, I don't know, could be executed better. But yeah, I'll probably go through the Walking Dead games, probably. Did I get another chat? You realize external wants mod. Who is that? I can't even see who that is. We're not, Lucas, we're not talking about external. I don't know if you've been paying attention at all to my posts or my streams or whatever recently. I'm not doing that stuff anymore. You could stay if you want to. You could stay and enjoy. I'm not doing that anymore. In fact, I'll just kind of get this off of my chest right now. I'm not doing any of that shit anymore. Like, you just sent it? Okay. Like, the people that I don't work with certain people anymore. I don't want to have anything to do with a certain, like, certain people anymore. And honestly, I've kind of just been shown that me going out of my way to try to help and protect people, it was met with a lot of, I wasn't appreciated, so I'm just not doing it anymore. There are other people that you can talk to, like, shoot a message to DNA, shoot them about external, shoot a message to any of these other people that are apparently way better at this whole, like, protecting people and protecting kids thing than me, because I decided to jack off to grown-ass fucking women 8 years ago. I'm apparently not equipped to be able to do that. DNA, you became a member. Welcome to Super Maniac. Thank you so much, homie. I love how that's the first thing that you do as soon as you wake up. Is fucking, the cop! God damn it! I just swept all these up, and now they're all over the floor again. God damn it. Love how it undid me it undid a lot of people. There's a whole, it's a long story as to why, but as long as you got it back, and I'm pretty sure you got your money back. But yeah, I'm glad that you're here, DNA. You can't help people if they don't ask for it. You'll be judged for offering. At least that's usually the case. Well, it's a whole thing, and a lot of the people that are still here already know the entire story, and I'm not going through it again. The short end of it is, I was told that I'm not allowed to help people because I jerked off to adult women. So I'm not gonna help people. That's it. That's the end of it. Don't come to me about this anymore, all right? I want to talk about Sonic, okay? Lucas, you are welcome to stay. But if you, I'm pretty sure if that's a rule, that's a rule. If it's not a rule, I gotta make it a chat rule. And I'll try to do that before I'm done today. But I'm telling you right now, I'm not doing that. I don't want to have anything to do with external or anything about grooming or groomers or nothing like that. Talk to the people that are better equipped for this, because I'm not one of them. I'm done. I'm done helping people out. I want to just talk about Sonic. Not be touching anything related to these sorts of topics. Refrain from bringing it up. Yes, thank you, mods. Keep an eye on that. Don't do anything to Lucas yet, because maybe he didn't know, but now Lucas knows. Okay. Now that that's been explained, let's go back to what I was doing before. What I don't understand is, like, you see someone like about to talk about like a critique of Sonic video, and then someone comes in and they're like, hey, you know, fucking this person, like, it talked about this other thing that has nothing to do with this. It's like, no. And again, maybe you didn't know. Maybe you haven't been paying attention, but it's just like, it's just random, bro. But anyway, I'll link this video down below if, you know, you guys can take a look at it yourself if you want to. Maybe you'll end up liking this video. Again, no hate to Kiro Talks. I need to preface this, because the last time, and maybe it was on me, maybe I didn't do a good job of explaining that, but the last time that I dared to critique another Sonic tuber, all of their fans came after me and were basically telling me to shut up, and that, you know, I don't have the right to actually, like, give an opinion on or critique anybody's, like, work, which is not how the internet works. People critique me and what I do all the time. I just talked about how someone critiqued me for the dumbest fucking shit. But I'm specifically just giving my opinion on what he has to say in this video. I don't want any hate sent to Kiro Talks. I don't think that there's anything wrong with the guy. I just personally think that this video, honestly, just could be better. I'll just leave it at that.
You want to know what the greatest game of all time is?
Also, let me know what the audio, like how the audio sounds, you guys.
Sonic Generations. Well, it would be if not.
Sonic Generations is pretty good.
Not for one big issue.
Okay, here we go. So basically, he starts off the video, and I don't know how. For all I know, this is the joke video. But he starts off the video by saying Sonic Generations would be great if it wasn't for this thing that I'm about to bring up. I'm going to return back to destroying Death Gulchers, the couch potatoes, and I'm going to farm themselves. Oh, also, let me know what you think of the video that's going up on Friday. Since you're a member, you can see it early. So let me know what you think. Want to know what the best game of all time is?
Major problem that gatekeeps it from the pinnacle of gaming. That problem is the character statues.
I don't understand how, again, this could be a joke, but I don't understand how the statues themselves are the issue with the game.
Sonic Generations, you go through various new levels based on old zones from Sonic's past, like Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1, Speed Highway from Sonic Adventure, and Crisis City from Sonic 06. Now, the reason you're doing this is because this time monster man captured all of Sonic's friends and turned them into these statues. By completing the 2 levels in each zone, one as Classic Sonic and one as Modern Sonic, you can restore your friends back to life. Each zone that you finish will restore 1 character. By completing Green Hill Zone,
You mean the one 2 days ago? Yeah, unless you already watched it.
Save Tails. By completing Chemical Plant, Amy is saved. By completing Sky Sanctuary, Knuckles is saved. By completing Speed Highway, Cream is saved. By completing City Escape, Rouge is saved. By completing Seaside Hill, Espio is saved. By completing Crisis City, Blaze is saved. By completing Rooftop Run, Vector is saved. And by completing Planet Wisp, Charmy is saved. Now, all of this is fine and good. Psych, no it isn't. Now, you're probably asking, what's the big issue? What's got you so upset?
Yeah, that's a great question. What is the big issue?
Well, it's the characters they chose to represent each zone.
Okay, here we go. He's gonna basically explain why all the character placements don't make sense.
Some of the characters make complete sense, but...
Oh, no, never mind. He's saying that some of the characters do make complete sense. So it's like the weird Sonic Generations character places already, the title doesn't really work, because basically that sounds like he's saying all of the character placements are strange in a sense, but he just literally just said that some of them make complete sense. So already we're kind of like meeting a bit of a contradiction here.
Others just don't. It sucks because...
And I'm not sitting here disagreeing and saying that some of them don't make sense. Like, I'll say right off the bat, I don't understand why Vector's at fucking Rooftop Run and why Charmy is at fucking Planet Wisp. Those two just don't make sense at all. It'd be cool if they let you play as all those characters. It would be. Unfortunately, this was still I think Generations was still technically a meta-era game. So it's like, in the meta-era, one of the big things was like, Sonic's friends are useless.
Sonic Generations would be perfect. It'd be a 10 out of 10 game, but...
Sonic Generations is a 10 out of 10 game. Fight me.
They just messed up the character selection.
No, they didn't.
Let's start with the classic era. Tails is the first character we saved from Green Hill Zone. Doesn't it make more sense to have him be the character we saved from Chemical Plant? I mean, so...
the reason... Okay. So the reason that they don't have Tails represent Chemical Plant is obviously because of the big emphasis on how important Tails is as a character. Could they have put Tails in Chemical Plant? Sure, they could have. But at the same time, I understand why they didn't. Tails is Sonic's little brother, Sonic's sidekick. He's the one that makes the most sense to save first. And like, no one else that was there at the party would have made any sense to put a Green Hill. Tails, and he's gonna explain why Tails at least makes a tiny bit of sense to be a Green Hill, but no other character would make sense to be there. It'd be nice if we had a storyline game where we could play as the characters we unlocked or something. That would be, well, technically you can in a way, because in Sonic Generations there are of course the friend missions where you can either play against them or have them assist you in things. But I understand what you mean, like use them in like a greater sense than that. Just like he's literally the guy. He is literally the guy. Like, it would be awkward as fuck to have Sonic rescue anybody before Tails.
Sonic 2 was the game that Tails debuted in. The character that we do say from Chemical Plant is Amy, and this doesn't really make sense either. Amy debuted in Sonic CD, not Sonic 2. The first
Okay, so have her placed where the Sonic CD level is. Oh, what's that? There's no Sonic CD level? Sergeant Giratina. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Glad that you're here. What was I saying? Fucking, there's no Sonic CD level. It would be one thing if there was a Sonic CD level, but let's be honest, as much as people love to glaze the hell out of Sonic CD, out of the 9 games, it wouldn't work to fit Sonic CD in there, because technically Sonic CD is a niche game. People love to glaze it, but Sonic CD is a niche game. Like, it's not as popular as a game like, say, Sonic 2. Now, granted, Sonic CD would be occurring around that time, if I remember correctly, because CD takes place before 2, but I think as far as it was produced, wasn't CD produced after 2? Was CD produced after 3? Like, either way, I think it was produced after 2, but of course it takes place before. And I would be 100% down for a Sonic CD level being represented in Sonic Generations. And honestly, I think it was kind of silly that they only had 9 levels in the game, but in the game's defense, there is a lot that you can do on those 9 levels. But I understand why there was no CD level, because CD isn't as popular as some of the other games. I never thought about the placement of those characters like that. Yeah, me neither. Yeah, they were pretty much glorified cameos, but they were nice cameos, though. I'm glad today is your birthday, Naomi. Happy birthday to you. CD was produced after 2, I think. Right. That's what I thought. But yeah, I think that's the only reason why Amy had to represent a Sonic 2 level, because Sonic CD was not as popular, and therefore didn't make the cut.
first one that actually makes sense is Knuckles, who represents Sky Sanctuary. Sky Sanctuary is from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, the game that Knuckles debuted in. That is cool. Now, we move on.
Technically, that's not even true. Knuckles debuted in Sonic 3, not Sonic 3 and Knuckles. You have to remember that Sonic 3 and Knuckles was technically a combination of 2 games, Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. People often forget this, people often forget that Sonic and Knuckles is a different game. Like, it's Sonic and Knuckles is exactly like Sonic Cross Shadow Generations. A lot of people call it the same game, but it's not the same game. It's 2 games in 1. You can see it as you can see it kind of like as a bundle pack and the most definitive way to play both games. But that is technically 2 games. Just like Sonic 3 and Knuckles. That is technically 2 games. Because Sonic 3 can be played on its own, and Sonic and Knuckles can be played on its own. That is the original way that I played both of those games. I originally played Sonic 3 and finished off at fucking Launch Base. Was it Launch Base? I think it was Launch Base. And then I moved on to Sonic and Knuckles and played through Mushroom Hill. You don't have to play it like that, but it is 100% possible to play the game separately, ergo they are separate games. Sonic CD was only popular if you had a Saturn. That too, the Saturn was a very niche console, just like the Dreamcast was. So I don't think that they would be able to get away with putting such like a niche game, representing such a niche game on us on Sonic Generations. If anything, they should have probably put a Sonic CD level in Sonic Generations 3DS, because then that would have given the game more. That would have given the game more content, because if I remember correctly, there were only like 7 stages. Like, I think there were only like 7 stages in 3DS, whereas as opposed to the console versions, like 9 stages. Actually, I never thought about that, but yeah, right. And that's why I'm like, technically that's not true. I know what he means, but technically that's not true.
On to the Adventure era, the first stage being Speed Highway from Sonic Adventure. The character representing this stage is Cream the Rabbit. Cream debuted in Sonic Advance 2. That game doesn't even have a stage in this game. Why is she the choice for Speed Highway from Sonic Adventure? Next is City Escape.
Well, no, he skipped over this. But Cream the Rabbit was in Sonic Adventure. And it was a very brief cameo, but she was in that game. I believe if you were either going into not Studiopolis, Casinopolis, or coming out of Casinopolis, if you very quickly look to the sky, you'll see Cream flying overhead. And I could have sworn he like mentioned this at some point, but again, it's like you're asking for the characters to be strictly only placed in levels that they appeared, not even games, because Tails was actually in a Green Hill level. He just wasn't in the Genesis version. I believe that there was a Green Hill in, I forget exactly which game it was, but I believe that there was a Green Hill that Tails could actually be in one of the Game Gear games. And I think he mentions this. That's another thing that I don't really care for when it comes to this level, because he refutes himself a few times later in this video, and I'm just pointing them out now. You're 24? Well, that's awesome. A little bit younger than me. And honestly, ask yourself how many folks you know that download the re-release of Sonic CD when it dropped. I would have loved to play it on Sonic Mega Collection Plus, but they didn't put it on there, which I still don't understand. Again, I think it's just because of the lack of popularity of the game. Yeah, she was a cameo during the director's cut and only there. Okay. Well, she was still there, though. I think that still counts. Not in the Dreamcast version. Well, yeah, I think it still kind of counts, though. And it's a nice Easter egg for people that were paying attention. The problem here is that he's splitting hairs a little bit, because he wants the characters represented specifically where they showed up and in the levels that they showed up, but he's asking for a lot, because a lot of these characters are far more popular than where they debuted. Cream is far more popular than Sonic Advance 2, and Amy is far more popular than Sonic CD, and so on. Like there are several like examples of this throughout the game. Actually, it was on the Gems collection. See, I never had the Gems collection. Wasn't the Gems collection on Dreamcast?
From Sonic Adventure 2, and this stage is represented by Rouge the Bat. Okay, this is another character that makes sense. Rouge first debuted in Sonic Adventure 2. This is a perfect fit. Next up is Seaside Hill from Sonic Heroes, and this stage is represented by Espio. Now, Espio didn't debut in Sonic Heroes. No, he debuted in Knuckles Chaotix. But
again, that game is very niche, and not a lot of people care about that game. So they weren't going to be able to represent that game there. One game could they represent, though, to also represent Espio, Sonic Heroes, which is why Seaside Hill is a perfect place for him. Like Vector and them came from Knuckles Chaotix. Right. It was on the GameCube, and really it was only on the GameCube? That fucking sucks. That's lame.
This character choice actually makes a lot of sense, because Team Chaotix, consisting of Vector, Charmy, and Espio, for many years were MIA from the Sonic franchise. Espio did get to come back in one more game, Sonic the Fighters, but besides that, the whole team just vanished. However, their big comeback was in Sonic Heroes, so I think choosing Espio to represent this game is a good choice. Next, we move on to the, at the time, modern era of Sonic, with the first level being Crisis City from Sonic 06.
Correct.
The character rep for this stage is Blaze the Cat from Sonic Rush, and like the Espio pick before, even though Blaze didn't debut in the game that she represents, the choice does actually make some amount of sense.
Now, here's something that I actually do think that they should have used a representation in Sonic Generations for. And if not here, then at least in fucking like 3DS Generations, which, because if I remember correctly in the story mode, I don't remember if all of Sonic's friends like show up, because in the story mode of 3DS, I don't remember if Tails ever gets captured. And if he does get captured, he's, of course, captured for a very, very, very short amount of time. But Tails, I think, is with Sonic pretty much the majority of the game. And to a larger extent than in this game, because there are only so many cutscenes in this game. But technically, there are far more cutscenes in the 3DS version, I believe. And Tails is constantly there. But I don't think your main goal is helping all of your friends. At least I don't think so. Because I think in the 3DS version, it's just you and Tails that's like sucked into the white world. Because Tails says a line like, "Oh, I'm the only one here. You're like super fucking early but could you like pretend to be surprised?" or something like that. So I think that having a Rush game represented in Generations actually makes a whole lot of sense, and they probably should have represented at least one Rush game. But I kind of also understand the point where if the console version and the 3DS version were both planned to be made around the same time, like, okay, we're going to make two versions of this game, then okay, I understand Rush being represented in the 3DS version. However, there's not enough representation of the mobile games on the 3DS version. I think there's only maybe 2 levels from the DS, the DS era of games that are on the 3DS version, and that's Water Palace from Sonic Rush and Tropical Resort from Sonic, specifically the Sonic Colors DS variation, and even that's pushing it because that also has a console variation. Like, there are several DS games that they could have purely taken from that they didn't. Because I don't think they took anything from any of the advances. I don't think they took any levels from the battle game. And I don't even know if they had permission to take anything from Rivals. And maybe it's because they had a feeling that maybe those games weren't as popular, so they still mainly took levels from the console games, which I think is a huge fucking cop-out. Like, I think that's really fucking lame, and then they should have actually, like, committed to it. So in this sense, I kind of agree with Kiro that there was no real reason for them to not fully represent Blaze with the level, and at the very least, they should have had Blaze represent Water Palace. But again, I think only Sonic and Tails were sucked into the whole, like, white world in the 3DS version, and that's really a damn shame. Okay, he's like, can I join in on that? You don't even know what I'm talking about. The white world is crazy. Yeah, that's literally what it's called. Well, white space, I think, is what it's actually called. But DNA, I'm glad that you're enjoying the video, man. Story mode for both versions is the same, so yeah, he does get captured. Okay, but is it like completely the same? No, only the level in the 3DS version for the DS GB games were Water Palace and Tropical Resort. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. So okay, but all right. So Tails does get captured in the 3DS version, but you're saying they're exactly the same. I don't remember if every single friend was there. Was every single friend, like, there? No, every single friend couldn't have been there in the 3DS version because there were less levels. So no, every single friend wasn't there. In fact, I think Tails was the only friend that was there, if I remember correctly. So it's not exactly the same then. I remember when I got sucked into the white world. So did I, you know. Water Palace does effectively replace Crisis City, so Blaze still serves as the rep for Water Palace. Okay, but is Blaze, like, physically, like, in the story mode of 3DS, though? That's what I want to know. Because if she is, then sure, I'm glad that she was represented there. But I started a little bit of the 3DS games, and I don't remember saving any friends except for Tails. I don't remember saving anybody for Casino Night, and I don't remember saving anybody for fucking Emerald Coast. Or what was the fucking, like, level for... What was the second level? Was it Chemical Plant again? I think it was Chemical Plant again. I don't remember saving anybody for Chemical Plant. I was too bored to buy ice cream. If you hear me jiggling the door handle, sorry, trying to fix it because it was... Oh, okay. That's fine. I'll just answer your question. Yes, every friend was there. The only one that you got a cutscene for is Tails. I might have to look through again. That's still kind of lame, though. But if every friend was there... But there were only 7. I'm replaying Sonic Generations 3DS, man. Because I don't know. I legitimately don't remember what you're fucking talking about. You're saying every friend is there, but it's less levels? How is every friend there? I know the rival battles, I think, are still the same. I think. Because I think Metal Sonic is still in there as a rival battle. But I have to look and see if the Shadow and Silver rival battles are still there. Or if it's, like, different rival battles. Because I legitimately do not remember. They still show up at the end of the game, which is only possible if they're in the white space. Okay, so they're there at the end of the game. Okay, I think you know what I mean. I mean, like, actually having, like, speaking lines. And actually, like, being there physically. You could talk to them. That's what I mean. I mean them being there into the exact same, like... in the exact same sense that they were in the console version, which it sounds like the answer is no. That's what I meant. And I don't know if you know that that's what I meant, or if you're just, like, gaslighting me right now, Jet, but, like, what I mean is, like, they serve the exact same, like, they do the exact same shit that they do in the console version, which it sounds like they do not. Okay, in that regard, no. Okay, that's what I meant, because I'm, like, I'm legitimately racking my brain for moments where like in Colors DS, like, you know how in Colors the DS, they actually had like way more characterization and they actually had Sonic's friends there actually like doing stuff? That's what I thought you meant, where like, oh yeah, no, they do that in 3DS as well. And I'm like, really? I don't fucking remember that at all. Like, am I just forgetting? I did not know that's what you meant. Okay, all right. I legitimately thought I was going crazy because I'm like, I feel like I would have fucking remembered that. I feel like I would have remembered Blaze giving me hints and actually like talking to me about being afraid of heights, or instead of being afraid of heights, being like, you know, I'm glad that the water around the palace and that the palace is still in, you know, tip top shape and whatever, and I'm glad that the corruption of the Time Eater hasn't like hurt any of my people or some or yada yada shit like that. You know, some exposition, something to put life in both the level and the character. I would have definitely remembered that. Sometimes my white friends create a strange space for me. They argue a lot and sometimes they hit each other in the balls. Why in the balls? That's so specific. Why do they have to hit each other in the balls?
Blaze played a substantial role in the game as the best friend of the new major character introduced in that game, Silver the Hedgehog. Blaze also dies in that game, something that doesn't really happen often in Sonic, so I think it was a decent idea to use her for this stage. Our next stage is Rooftop Run from
Okay, now we're gonna get into the ones that make absolutely no sense to me.
Sonic Unleashed, and the character they chose to represent this game is...
I'm just in the space. You gotta ask them.
Vector, the
They should not.
crocodile. Yeah.
They should not have put Vector here. If anything, they should have put Amy here, and put someone else at Chemical Plant. If anything, they should have put Amy here and put someone else at Chemical Plant. Because the thing is, Amy does show up in Rooftop Run. Like I think we have to save her from some of the fucking like townspeople that are getting like manipulated by Dark Guy's like energy. So she actually does show up in this level. So it would have made more sense for Amy to be here. But I understand at the same sense why Amy was here, was there because of when she was introduced in the series and how close Sonic CD is to Sonic 2 in the story's timeline. So I get why she's there. But it would have made sense for her to be here as well because she was also in Spagonia. I don't know why Vector's here. It makes absolutely no fucking sense to put Vector here. It makes no sense. Now, what character besides Amy would have made sense to be here? Well, I don't know, because this was around the era where Sonic was shedding his fucking best friends like they were fucking, like, old skin. Like old scales. So who would have made more sense to put here out of all of Sonic's friends? I'm trying to think. Tails would have made sense to put here as well, but that's too far down in the timeline. So, I honestly don't think Sega had much of a choice here. He's white, I don't know. No balls were harmed in the making of this video. Something that doesn't happen a lot in the Sonic franchise. Yeah, BS. I will play this game again, I swear to my soul. I did it once before. Fucking near-death experiences or death. Death does happen strangely a lot in the Sonic franchise. Even in just the games, even if we don't take into consideration the comics, which I know that's what Jet's thinking about right now is the fucking comics. If we just take the games into consideration, death does actually occur quite a bit in this franchise. So I don't know what the hell Kiro's talking about. Like, I don't think he's played enough Sonic games. He's white. I don't know. He's white. That's why he's in fucking Spagonia. That's why he's basically in the freaking Sonic franchise's like equivalent to fucking France. Oh, that's or Spain. Spain. Spagonia is probably closer to Spain actually. Like fucking. Well, actually, no. That makes less sense too. You say Vector's Latino? He might be. He might be, bro.
I've got nothing for this stage. Even for some of the past stages where the character choices didn't make much sense, I could at least see some reasoning behind it. With Tails is Sonic's best friend, so it makes sense to save him in the first zone, Green Hill Zone, since it's the first stage. Tails is also the smart guy that figures stuff out, so getting him into the mix as soon as possible from a narrative perspective.
Spagonia is supposed to be Italy, bro. Look at this fucking face Tails is making! Dorito, you already know what to do with that, bro. The guy is supposed to be Italy? I always thought that Spagonia was supposed to be Spain, but yeah, I can see Spagonia being Italy too. Yeah, I guess it's just because, you know, Spagonia, Spain, they're both so similar. But okay, yeah, I can definitely see Italy too. The thing is, it's like I don't remember there being an option to buy any fucking like spaghetti. Maybe there was an option to buy spaghetti at the shop for something that you can snack on, but I don't quite remember. I don't think I really took all that much time to like mess around in the shops unless it was for like collectibles for like missions or some shit like that. Oh my goodness. Oh wow, eight people watching, 8 likes. That's what I love to see. Akuka de meatball. You would think that because of the name, but no. The great land of Italiana, Italia. Well, technically it's Italia, but I get what you mean.
Is understandable. Also, technically Green Hill was in 8-bit Sonic 2, and
Yeah, I was about to say there it is. That was the name of the game. I knew it was a Game Gear game. I just forgot which one it was. But yeah, there was a Green Hill in the Game Gear version of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Okay, so then that means that this placement actually does make a lot of sense then. So again, what is this fuck ass title?
the 8-bit version of Sonic 2 actually does predate the 16-bit version of Sonic 2.
See, that I forgot. I did not know that I forgot that the 16-bit, that the 8-bit version predated the 16-bit version. That I actually forgot. So again, this placement for Tails actually makes plenty of sense.
Making 8-bit Sonic 2 the first time that Tails appears in a Sonic game. So picking him for Green Hill Zone actually does make some sense. For Amy, her debut game was Sonic CD, not Sonic 2, but Sonic 2 and Sonic CD do have a lot of connections with one another, as both games were being worked on at the same time for a portion of their development, and they were both designed as sequels to the original Sonic 1. So while it is kind of a stretch admittedly, I can kind of see it. With Green,
Like that, it's as good as you're gonna get it. Again, at the end of the day, the main reason I truly believe is because Sonic CD was not as popular as Sonic 2, and Sonic Team, I think, we're still in this era where they were trying to put games out way too quickly, so they probably did not have a whole lot of time to even work on this game. So they had to cut corners and they had to figure out, okay, out of all of the games that Sonic has had from 1991 all the way up to 2011 for the console variation, which 9 games are the most important to the series? And they decided it was Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3 / Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes, Sonic 06, Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Colors. And honestly, I'm really happy with that lineup. Those are all games that I believe those are all games that those are all games I enjoy, all except for Sonic Colors. Sonic Colors is a game that I respect. So, well, Sonic 1's also kind of a game I respect. I enjoy portions of Sonic 1, but I'd say I probably respect Sonic 1 more than I like it. So Fusion says, yeah, us folks who had a Genesis never talked about Sonic CD like that. Yeah, no, I didn't think so. I didn't think so. I only knew that Sonic CD was like a thing like recently. Not recently, maybe like 10ish years ago, 10, 12 years ago. Like when I was growing up, like in middle school or high school, when I was like around the time that I was like growing up, that's when I learned that Sonic CD was a thing. But the thing is I only played it recently. I only played it maybe like a couple of years ago. I don't remember beating it, but I think I only played it like a couple of years ago. You sent me something? What did you send me? Was it some bullshit, bro? It was probably some bullshit. You probably sent me some bullshit. Which sent me that bit. You sent me a video by Mr. Fascinating. I actually was planning on watching some videos by Mr. Fascinating for this show at some point as well. Damn, like, are you gonna be able to take care of that? Like, I wish you had like texted me that and not set that in the chat, but I guess it's too late now. Do you need help with that? Like, what were you doing to make that happen? Like, PlayStation came out, that was when Sega Saturn was just dead. Right. And like the level of Sonic CD. I know it's on Discord, Dorito. Give me a second, please. No, obviously you were messaging me on WhatsApp. I would not have expected it to be Discord of all the things for you to send. How do I elongate this to fit the Sonic? How do I elongate this to fit the Sonic face? What the hell are you even trying to do with this? I just picked at something and nicked my face. Okay, just be careful, because when you say your face is bleeding, that That scared me a little bit. How do I elongate this to fit the Sonic's face? What are you trying to do? Why are there so many different variations of it? Why did you stretch his face out like that? Oh my goodness. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to my top 3 fans. Kai is in first place, Junior is in second, Dorito is in third. Appreciate you guys. If I was bleeding any worse, I would have physically came to you. Okay. Well, still, just try to be careful.
Using her to represent Sonic Adventure makes no sense, as she wouldn't appear in the franchise until a few years later. However, it does make a very teeny tiny bit of sense if you consider—
That's just what the screenshot— oh, that's just— you need to stretch his face. This is what the screenshot looks— it looks so his face looks so fucking long, which is funny considering that he, you know, he looks so upset there.
that Cream's first appearance in a 3D Sonic game and her first appearance in a mainline Sonic game was actually in Sonic Adventure DX.
Okay, so yeah, he does mention this.
Updated version of the original Sonic Adventure. She has cameos in multiple different character campaigns in the game. The Knuckles, Espio, and Blaze picks were pretty reasonable, so Vector is the first pick that gives me nothing to work with. Vector doesn't even appear in Sonic Unleashed. He isn't even mentioned in Sonic Unleashed. Ugh, let's move on.
Yeah, that one makes absolutely no sense. I can't defend that.
Our next and final—
I'm not for Neverworld, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and fucking try to defend bullshit.
Character is Charmy B, who represents Planet Wisp from Sonic Colors. Now, to a lot of you, choosing Charmy for Sonic Colors makes no sense. He didn't even appear in that game.
Oh, I know what he's talking about. So the Charmy placement actually does make a whole lot of sense. And I'm not even going to say why, because I think he's about to explain why his placement actually makes a lot of sense in this level. It's just what the screenshot looks like. Let's see. Yeah, I feel like the dude is nitpicking at this point. He absolutely is, and that's the reason why I wanted to go over this video, because it's not a terrible video, but I do genuinely believe that it is a bit misleading. Like, quite a bit misleading. It says, "Hun, I try to be careful and I still manage to hurt myself. I shit you not. I somehow, some way hurt myself even by sitting. Me cutting my eyelid while being half asleep is a prime example." I almost forgot that you found a way to do that. Bro is 100% nitpicking. Yes, he is. Oh my goodness. This person's name looks very familiar. Don't recognize it, but hello, Maximus Gamer 359. Welcome. Welcome. How are you doing?
Except, what if I told you he actually did appear in Sonic Colors? He appeared in the DS version of Sonic Colors, and
Absolutely.
You meet him on Planet Wisp.
Absolutely. So, yep, his positioning here makes plenty of sense for him to be here. So, like, I was expecting gameplay criticisms and stuff. Well, no, he did technically title this the Weird Sonic Generations character placements, but the only one he's actually like... Maximus Gamer 359 John, thank you so much for subscribing, man. I appreciate you. What did it go? Oh, it freaking knocked shit out of the fucking jar again. But the placement of the characters in the hub world, who cares? Well, it's not even just like who cares. It's just like he's wrong. He's wrong. The majority of these character placements make plenty sense, and some of them even make like enough sense for it to work in the like along with the story, because each character's placement not only works because they're in the story, so that's why they're there in the first place, but it also works as each character more often than not, in most of the cases, represents their level in some way, whether it's representing the level itself, representing the game, or representing the place in the timeline where they actually like showed up. So it's like, what's weird about that? What's weird about there being logic behind the placements? That's not weird. The title is just lying. Like,
this is actually not a bad pick. Although, as a whole, you can see that a lot of these character choices are weird.
No, I don't. You have not convinced me that these character placements are weird. You have not. You're just saying that. Like, again, I have nothing against Kiro, but you're kind of just saying that, like, these placements are really weird, right? No, you just explained why they're not. The only character that you've actually explained as to why it makes no sense for them to be there is Vector. Like, that's the only one you've explained. Way past cool live stream Epic Network. Oh, thanks, Maximus. I appreciate that. Your name looks familiar, though. I don't know why.
To be fair to the devs, it is hard to pick a rep for some of the games, like Sonic 1 for example. The only major characters in that game were Sonic and Eggman, so you really don't have any options. You can't not include Amy in the game, she's too important to the Sonic mythos. But she also doesn't really fit as a rep for any of the zones.
I disagree, and I already explained why she would represent one of the zones. She was in Spagonia. She could have been specific, she could have been at Rooftop Run. So you saying she doesn't work there is ludicrous.
Sonic mythos. But she also doesn't really fit as a rep for any of the zones.
Should also go back and review the Sonic shows too. That is something that I want to dabble in a little bit too, like going through like the shows, especially Sonic X, because I feel like if I go through and review Sonic X, it's gonna piss me off because I hold that game and like that show in such high regard. But that's only because I watched it and enjoyed it when I was younger. I have not gone back to rewatch that show, and I am terrified to do so. I'm so scared to do so. Tails and Amy would have been good for Green Hill. Yeah, no, they would have been good for Green Hill as well, I think.
Cream doesn't play a significant role in any of the mainline Sonic games except for Sonic Heroes.
Right, so she could have been in Seaside Hill, but I still think fucking Speed Highway is a good place for her to be. You want to go through X with me after we do Boom? Sure, I don't see why not. That would definitely make things easier.
SBO took up the Sonic Hero spot, so both Cream and Vector are kind of screwed on that front. One solution is they could have just included more characters. Big the Cat would have been perfect for Speed Highway, Princess Elise makes the most sense for Crisis City, and Chip fits for Rooftop Run. All three of those characters debuted in the games that their stages came from. Obviously, because of story stuff, it would be tricky to justify Elise and Chip coming back, but
it would have been tricky for them to justify Elise and Chip coming back, sure. But it's also tricky to justify Crisis City even being there in Sonic Generations to begin with. So I think that's a cop-out. I think that, like, if they're gonna bring back Crisis City, they could have brought back Elise and Chip, probably. I'm curious as to what you think about Sonic Satam, even though it's unfinished. I would love to go through Sonic Satam as well. Maybe specifically with you, but who knows. I definitely want to go through the shows at some point. Big the Cat for Speed High. Big the Cat for Speed Highway? No! Well, yeah, because he was too busy hanging out with Shadow, so he couldn't be there. Bro, I forgot how much you can't stand Big, bro. I forgot how much you can't stand Big the Cat. It's like, no, keep him far away from Speed Highway. Not Speed Highway, but fucking Seaside Hill, damn it. Oh my god. So sadly, no one wants to see Elise again. Hell, I'd take Chip over. I would love to see Elise again. You know what? I'm not even going to talk about Elise right now. I'm going to wait until the video's done in fucking 2029. I mean, Crisis City has a blatant explanation. Elise would be tricky to explain, but Chip literally cannot come back. Well, unless fucking Eggman ended up breaking the planet open. We don't know what's happening with the planet right now, since we're in like a different fucking dimension or some shit. Big was too busy finding Froggy for fucking sake. He is fast for a large cat. He is fast for a large cat. Chip's totally not busy keeping the planet together or anything. Bro, yeah, it would be tricky to say the least. Impossible though. That's the thing. I don't think it would be impossible. Tricky? Sure. I just don't think it would be impossible. Kind of curious if these stages were picked because they were the most popular or fan favorites. I don't fully know. I do think that that's another reason, is that the levels were all fan favorites. In fact, I would probably argue that the levels being fan favorites is the reason for most of the levels. Some of the levels I would probably say are here just because of, I guess, maybe they're the levels that you think of when you think of the game, ergo Crisis City, because I would argue that the most popular level for Crisis City is probably Kingdom Valley, and thankfully we did eventually get Kingdom Valley. And then for Sonic Colors, I'd probably say the most popular level is... I want to say the most popular level for... Because my favorite level is Sweet Mountain, but I think the most popular level for Sonic Colors might actually be Tropical Resort, and we also did get Tropical Resort in the 3DS variation. So I think it's honestly either like a matter of either popularity or just how important the level is to, I guess, the generation, so to speak, like the timeline. Like kind of like how Chari5 was saying, which that's a video I need to eventually watch as well. Like the 9 levels represented in Sonic Generations, I believe he's explained as levels that were pretty much pertinent to the story and the overall timeline, which I definitely get. Cream the Rabbit is VV in Sonic Advance 2 and Sonic Advance 3 along with other games. Well, yeah, no, she's in both of those games for sure. Let's see. So it says, bro, when I tell you that I stop playing whoever I am and get through big storyline, then beat the rest of Sonic Adventure. Right. Yeah, no, you're not a fan of Big the Cat. So it says, Junie, it turns out that Sonic Team ran a poll to pick whatever levels were fan favorites. Oh, really? I only heard that from some colleague Johnny's review of Generations. I did not know that. And again, I stopped watching Some Call Me Johnny a long time ago. The most popular level was between Tropical Resort and Planet Wisp. Fuck Planet Wisp. The people that fucking say that their favorite level is fucking Planet Wisp, like, literally have fucking dents in their heads. Planet Wisp, like was boring as fuck in Sonic Generation and Sonic Colors, and for whatever reason they made it borderline unplayable in Generations. I don't understand why they would pick fucking Planet Wisp. If you're gonna make a level like a Sonic Colors level, the last level, and make it stupid difficult, I could forgive you if you made that level Asteroid fucking Coaster or Terminal Velocity. If you picked Asteroid Coaster or Terminal Velocity and made it just as hard as Planet Wisp was, I would have no complaints. Because Asteroid Coaster is way more fun of a fucking level. And Terminal Velocity makes a shit ton of sense to be difficult because it's the last level in Colors, and it's literally a fucking race to not die. But Planet Wisp, the half fucking like grassy level and half fucking industrial level with the stupid fucking Spike Wisp. The Rocket Wisp is okay, but I hate the Spike Wisps. I mean, and that's saying a lot coming from me because I don't really like how the Wisps are implemented. Like, in Colors. I was gonna say, like, overall, but no, I'm actually alright with how they're implemented in Forces. I think they're implemented the best in Forces, probably. And I like how they're implemented in the racing games. I do think they're kind of just there in the racing games, though, to kind of, like, relegate it to just items. I think they were utilized the best in Forces, personally. And that's coming from, like, the day one Forces hater. So keep that in mind. Make the Judas will make it. I don't think it makes sense. Planet Wisp music is so damn good. Yeah, Planet Wisp music is so damn good. That's until fucking Ultimate got off. Well, no, I think Ultimate actually had really good remixes. Act 1's remix didn't make sense, but it was alright. And of course, and Act 2's remix was pretty good. Act 3's theme was already really good, so they couldn't really do much to it to make it better. So I'll give you that. Planet Wisp's music in both base and Ultimate was really good. I'll give you that. But if we're just going off of the music, and this is a hot take here, I personally think Asteroid Coaster consistently has better tracks than Planet Wisp. I think Asteroid Coaster is more consistent than Planet Wisp as far as how good each track is. I really do. But again, that might be a hot take. Planet Wisp was goated in Colors. What do you mean? Yeah, I'm saying it was better in Colors. I did not like it in Generations at all. It was fucking stupid. It wasn't fun. At least Planet Wisp was a a little bit fun to play in Colors. I'll give you that. But it just wasn't fun in Generations. I didn't like the level itself was better than yes. One of the best things about Colors levels. I disagree. There are levels that looked way better. There are several levels that looked way better than Planet Wisp. Planet Wisp was still pretty as hell. But Planet Wisp is towards the bottom as far as visuals go. The best looking level is, I want to say that best looking level is a tie between Tropical Resort and fucking Starlight Carnival. And I would put Sweet Mountain up there too. And I know I'm biased towards Sweet Mountain, but I would still argue that Tropical Resort and fucking Starlight Carnival look better than Sweet Mountain. But Sweet Mountain I still think looks better than Planet Wisp. Am I saying Planet Wisp looks bad? No, but I don't think it's the best. You're smoking nuts. I do think the Spike Whip sucks though. But I guess I'm smoking nuts, Jet. Like I don't know what to tell you, man. Like I've played the game like 3 times, and it's just like other levels were just more interesting to me than Planet Wisp. I'm not saying Planet Wisp is a bad level, but it's just like I feel like Planet Wisp was just surrounded by levels that just had a little bit more going for them. And here's the thing. The part of Planet Wisp that I like, the aesthetic... Planet Wisp has 2 aesthetics. The part of Planet Wisp that I like is barely in Planet Wisp. The part of Planet Wisp that I like is the fucking, like the meadow area. But there's barely any of that fucking meadow in the level. And I understand for story reasons that's why it ended, like, it's partially lame industrial bullshit. But A, I think that the industrial part looks worse than the meadow part. And B, all of the bullshit is in the fucking industrial part. And most of the level is in the industrial part in Generations. So when I see the industrial chunk of Planet Wisp, all I think of is how unfun the level is to play in Generations. Now again, maybe what I should do is just stay away from the Generations version of Planet Wisp. You know, if that's fair enough. Maybe I should just never play Planet Wisp in Generations ever again. Maybe that's what I need to do so that I can appreciate Planet Wisp more. But it's just, it sucks that the part of Planet Wisp that I like, the fucking meadow, is overshadowed by the industrial part that I just think looks fucking boring. Comparatively. But that just might be a personal gripe. Maybe people love the industrial like portion of Planet Wisp. I personally do not. And I get it. There's a story reason for it. Still hate looking at it. Aside, half the game is kind of boring though, just because they're slow as fuck. I don't know what they did to Planet Wisp in colors. Starlight Calm was my favorite visually. I just think that so many fucking levels look better than Planet Wisp. But I'm not saying Planet Wisp looks bad. You know, I just finished watching the video. I really love how I'm Tails at random times. Because it's solo healing humans before I swap. Say, let me fix that. Kids having stuck! Bro, that part, man. That's how I knew that part was going to be towards the end. Because I'm like, bro, how the fuck did that happen? How did you spit me into the fucking wall? And maybe I should have been more careful, but I didn't realize that you had your ult. Oh my goodness. So it says, yeah, 90% of Planet Wisp and Generations was industrial shit, which is just like, again, that in itself isn't the issue. It's just that they show you the pretty meadow first, and for a game on the Wii, the meadow portion of Planet Wisp looked beautiful. Just wish I could have seen fucking more of it. It should have been more like Starlight Zone from Sonic 1, more running and speed, less platforming. I agree. It's just magic. But, yeah, I mean, which is funny considering that I was playing as the fucking magician.
But, I mean, the whole game is about time being messed up, so, I mean, it could work. But, you know, just bringing in new characters, that'd be too easy. So you know what I'm gonna do? Using only the 9 characters at the game.
I was planning on using my ult to get the tanks and heals out from the enemy team. Oh, okay. Well, no, that's fair. And again, maybe I just wasn't being careful enough.
Already uses as representatives, Tails, Amy, Knuckles, Cream, Rouge, Espio, Blaze, Vector, and Charmy. I'm going to rearrange the stages they're assigned to in order to make them fit better with the game that they're representing. So
I think that they're fine where they are, but let's see what Kiro says. I was planning on using my ult to get, wait, I read that already. Didn't expect to get jumped, so yeah, me neither.
For example, to start with, I'm going to assign Tails to Chemical Plant Zone. Tails debuted in Sonic 2, so this of course makes the most sense. I'm going to assign Amy to Speed Highway. Putting Amy somewhere was difficult, but I think Speed Highway fits her.
And I'm still upset you watched me die. All of the Invincible Squirrel Girl covers you could have used, you used one of the worst ones. I just found a fucking random one. I didn't know which one to fucking use. I just used a fucking random one. That's all.
Her best out of
I like, honestly, I care so little about Squirrel Girl that I was just like, let me just find a random cover and just throw it on there.
the characters, as Sonic Adventure was the first time Amy was playable in a mainline Sonic game.
It was like, oh, was that a video I was in? Yeah. It'll be going live on Friday, but it's early for either Super Maniacs or people that I guess are watching the video that a Super Maniac is showing them, which is fine. It's your money you're wasting. I don't really care. When's the Jeff MVP? Right? Too far. Like what? What do you mean? Oh wait, wasn't it about who does the better, Squirrel Girl or Jeff? I mean, that was part of it. I started streaming after like the challenge was actually administered, and I started while it was already like we were already in the middle of the challenge that fucking Vika Dorito set for Jet, or I guess technically I set it up for him. Tails is also Sonic's first friend. Why would you not save him first? He then met Amy, so why would Amy not be second? He doesn't care about that. He's really adamant on like the characters have to be in the game and level that they debut in, or it's weird. And it's like, no, it's not. It's not that weird, bro. Like I have OCD and you're triggering me. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. During that video, I think I was cooking. I think you were cooking as well.
So Sonic Adventure is actually pretty significant to her. Knuckles is going to stay where he's at. I think Sky Sanctuary fits him perfectly. Cream
It was when we were playing Rivals. I swear it wasn't meant to be a challenge. I mean, I kind of tried to goad it into being a challenge, which I'm glad that I did because I think that made the video better.
It fit well with any.
Well, the stream better too.
The levels outside of Seaside Hill from Sonic Heroes, but I don't think she fits there as well as any of the Chaotix do, so I'm going to move her to Rooftop Run. I know, it sounds crazy, and it is, but it does make a little bit of sense. Watch this. What was the most important part of Sonic Unleashed? The Werehog? No. The boost gameplay? No. Traveling all around the world? No. The most important part of Sonic Unleashed was the...
He's about to say ice cream, isn't it? And was just trying to tell Q he had more options. Definitely made for a better video though. Oh no, I agree. I definitely think it was worth it. It was nice because this is probably like the first video I've ever put together where it's just showing Dorito actually like being a savage. We need more savage Dorito. We're hogging
ice cream. The central character of that game, Chip, got his name because he loved chocolate chip Sundae Supremes. Sundaes are a type of ice cream. So
please do not solo take his venom. Please do not solo take his venom. I'm the only one to take right now. I don't know what you're talking about. It's so funny imagining fucking Ichigo and Tails having an argument, bro.
The logical thing is to make Cream the representative for Rooftop Run from Sonic.
I think Kiro's like trolling us, and if Kiro is trolling us, then you know this is a great troll. But I genuinely do believe that he's being serious. Okay, so we're gonna rearrange the stages too? Nope, the stages are probably gonna stay exactly where they are.
Like Unleashed. Rouge is going to stay where she's at, Espio is going to stay where he's at, and Blaze is going to stay where she's at. That leaves us with 2 stages left and 2 characters left. We have Green Hill and Planet Wisp, ironically enough, the first and last zones of the game. And we have Vector and Charmy.
Kai says, oh, cream fitting in this world makes sense, but let's talk about ice cream. The ice cream is the most important thing in the game. Like, he's fucking like, he's splitting hairs, but he's saying that this arrangement is better than the arrangement that Sega made, but he was also complaining that a lot of these positions are weird. The original positions are weird because they were fucking like, they were all stretches and they were all splitting hairs. Is he not doing the exact same thing that Sega was doing, or am I fucking stupid? Like, and then I genuinely think he's doing it worse. I absolutely love how Tails is like, what are you talking about? He matches my energy throughout the video. He really does. Tails, as each go argue about solo take, is my absolute favorite. Yeah, just remove Sonic from the entire game. Let the player play as the ice cream. Bro, Kiro would probably be like, you know what? Actually, I never thought of that. That makes a whole lot of sense.
Charmy, 2 members of Team Chaotix. I'm going to let Charmy stay where he's at Planet Wisp, and let Vector be the rep for Green Hill Zone.
That is a terrible idea. That is such a bad idea. That would be the best Sonic game. You playing as ice cream instead of Sonic. Sonic's just not in the game. Why is Vector in Green Hill? Why is Vector in Green Hill? He's green. Exactly. He's in Green Hill because he's fucking green. Bro, what is going on? Is it because he's green? Exactly. It's because he's fucking green, bro. I don't want to finish this video. I'm leaving. Greenism? Are you committing a greenism? This is so dumb. This is pretty dumb. And again, this could just be an elaborate troll, but I genuinely do think Kiro is playing this completely fucking straight. Like, I really do. If this is just an elaborate troll, then I will admit defeat. I just don't think it is. It ain't easy being green. Let's hear him out, though, for real. I mean, we're already hearing him out. Amp says, well, he's green. His spikes look like hills. They do kind of look like hills, don't they, Amp? Also, welcome. Glad to see you again, man. Glad that you are here.
Now I know all of you guys are collectively going, what? Vector makes no sense to represent Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1. Well, that's where you're wrong, viewers. If we look at some concept art for Sonic during the development of Sonic 1, we see this one interesting image of Sonic in a band. There's Sonic as the lead singer, Max the monkey playing the bass guitar, Mach the rabbit on the drums, Sharps the parakeet on lead guitar, and what do you know? Who do we see over here on the keyboard? Vector the crocodile. Technically, Vector didn't appear in Sonic 1, but he did exist in the form of this artwork made during the game's development. So, I think making Vector the rep of Sonic 1 and Green Hill Zone makes a lot of sense.
Why does Vector look like I don't know why he looks like that, bro. Bro, he looks like he bro. Fair point, I suppose. Well, here's the thing. I'm not saying that that's not like a fair point as like, okay, it's kind of a stretch, but if you look at it at a specific angle, it could make a little bit of sense. That's not my issue. My issue is that that's exactly what Sega did, and I'd argue they did it better. But he's saying, no, my way is better, even though I'm literally using some of the same logic Sega used, but mine is better. Like, he was for real going through it. Nigga looks like he hasn't eaten in fucking days, bro. Like, he is that Sonic 1 concept art was interesting. Yeah, it's like, it's like, what is these placements? It was like he originally had a human girlfriend and one of the enemies was just gonna be Evil Glover. Yeah, no, I remember those. Those were 100% real. I remember those, bro. I still think he should have gotten the human girlfriend. I'm glad that they at least brought her back in the comics in a sense. But yeah, Victor looks like a Vector looks like he's a gang member playing the DJ set, man. Bro chiseled low-key. Bro needs a fucking hamburger is what he needs.
So, I think making Vector the rep of Sonic 1 and Green Hill Zone makes a lot
Chicken is staring at me funny. Well, just don't look at it. Just look away from it.
Of sense. Show some respect to Vector because Vector is actually one of the OGs.
Not gonna lie, we're using that Elise should be in Green Hill because of Madonna. Yeah, Elise being in Green Hill because of that would actually work. Though it would be a little silly to have her there instead of Crisis City.
He was there before Knuckles, before Amy, and even before Tails. But with that out of the way, we're done. We now have the character statues placed in zones that I think better fit each person. Now,
I disagree.
Now all we need is for Sega to change the order of the characters in Sonic X Shadow Generations, and that game will automatically be a 10 out of 10 game, the greatest Sonic game ever made. I've got plenty of other Sonic videos in a playlist for you to check out.
I'm good, Kiro. This was a very silly video, but I still had a laugh about it. Yeah, no, I think this was played completely straight. He's completely serious about this video. No, he legitimately thinks that his placements are better than the placements that Sega already had. Well, I'll of course put this video in the description. If you guys want to watch it yourself, then by all means do so. But we're not done just yet. I am going to take a quick break before we get into the next video. So, of course, get up, stretch, and yeah, we will jump into the next video in a little bit here. I need to go hydrate. I don't want to watch any future Kiro videos. This one was so dumb. This one was a bit silly, I agree. This one was a bit silly. But I will be right back.
Over the
All right, I have returned, you guys. Glad that you guys are supporting the stream so far. I think we're at like 11 or 12 likes, which I definitely do appreciate. This next video that we're going to be checking out today, which will possibly be the last video for the day, depending on how long it takes to get through it, This one's called This Sonic Theory is Going Viral. Here's why. And it's by the good old Sonic Hub. I think I've watched their videos before in the past, but it has been a hot minute since I've seen one of their videos. But yeah, and it's about Silver the Hedgehog. If you guys have been on Twitter recently and kind of looking through YouTube, Silver has gained a lot of popularity, and it's thanks to Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and apparently some kind of voice interaction that he had with Sage, basically about how Silver says like, "Oh, there's no like Robotnik in my future," and Sage was like, "Hold my orange juice," basically. And that sparks a whole bunch of creativity through tons of people to create music, art, basically showcasing what it might be like if Silver was actually had to basically reap what he sowed and did have to go up against Sage, becoming a mastermind in his future. Now I don't know if this particular video is about that, but I think it might be one of the reasons why people might be focusing a little bit more on Silver recently, because this video did come out 6 days ago. Oh, you saw this one? Okay. Just said, yeah, no, the Silver pop off because of Corn is nuts. Oh, it's because of Corn, like the rock band. I didn't know it was because of I didn't know the rock band was related to this in some way. Or are you talking about the artist Corn? Because I think I know who that is. I think the artist Corn is the one that I'm thinking of right now. But yeah, let's talk about this. Sonic Theory is going viral. Here's why. If there's more videos and or coverage about the whole like new Silver thing, like him becoming more popular, definitely let me know. I might make a channel in my Discord specifically for video submissions. I don't know yet. But I guess if there is a video and you're not in the Discord, because I don't think I'm gonna make the Discord public, I might just make it for Super Maniacs and up to come in and maybe add some video submissions. But if you have ideas about like maybe any videos or maybe even articles regarding the whole like new like the Silver stuff with Sage and his new future and whatnot, definitely let me know. Corn, the artist, made artwork of Silver after reading about the voice lines between him and Sage and Crossroads. Okay, that's what I thought you were talking about. And says, not gonna lie, the beef Metal Sonic and Silver fans have both of these characters be having the largest PR growth because of fan work. It is kind of crazy, but I'm assuming that that's something that Sega actually wants. So they're probably fucking like so goddamn like happy about this. And like, we might need to make a year of Silver because of this shit by itself. Which, honestly, fingers crossed. I did say, like, in a video some time ago that I would love to see a year of Silver and see Silver take, like, a forefront eventually for Sonic. And I think that would be fucking badass as shit. I already missed the Year of Shadow. Like, the Year of Shadow was crazy. And I fucking... It was... I had the time of my life during the Year of Shadow. And that's why I hope I get this new job, because I don't want to miss any media having to do with any new year of whoever the fuck. I don't want to miss any of it. Like, I want to have my funds in place, and I want to be able to be a part of it. I want to be able to cover it, too, and talk about it on this channel as well. So, I hope you guys are rooting for me to get this this security job, or any new job that'll freaking pay me more than my current one. But, let's go ahead and take a look at this video.
Over the last 4 or 5 years, there's been this concerted effort to redeem the Sonic characters. And what do I mean by this? If you've been in the Sonic fandom, you would know that starting around 2010, the writing for the characters took a nosedive. The franchise needed to go into a different direction, so they started to go with this more unserious tone of writing. But it's definitely a stark contrast for how the Sonic...
You know what I just fucking realized? Hold the fuck on. You guys remember one of the changes that were made to Rouge, right? That her fucking back was covered up. Why is Rouge's back covered up but Amy's isn't? Or am I stupid and did they cover it recently? Because I just realized here in Lost World, her back is completely exposed. Did they cover up Amy's back in Generations? Or did they just leave it, or did they just leave her dress how it is? Does anyone know? I might have to look this up. I just thought about that. Like, this is just a random fucking tangent that I just went on, but I had to think about it. Like, I literally had a fucking, like, Shrek 1 hold the phone moment. Who knows? I kind of want to look this up. Sonic Generations, Master and Amy. No, Amy's back still isn't covered. Okay, I didn't think so, because I just had to think about, like, hold on, how come Amy's back gets to be exposed? Maybe, but Rouge has boobs. Well, is that literally all it takes? If you have boobs, your back has to be covered up? Is that how it, like, I shouldn't be getting as upset about this. But seeing the cutscene where fucking Amy's back is just all fucking exposed, and you can fucking see it very clearly, and I had to think about that, and it's just like, wait, how is that fair? Is it because, what, is it because she has a flat chest? Is that literally all it takes? Asked Sega. Is that all it takes? You know what? I'm not even gonna worry about it, because that could lead into a whole nother fucking conversation in itself. Like, Amy already, like, no one points it out. No one really talks about it. This is something about Amy that's lampshaded to hell and high water. But her dress is insanely short. And no one seems to care. Like, no one seems to care. Like, but Amy's dress is insanely short and no one cares. Like, I'm just wondering, it's just like, what is this double standard? Like, are you missing something at all? I'm missing my glasses. Hold on, let me just realize I don't have my glasses. Where are my glasses? My glasses? I can't see anything without my glasses. Thank you, love, for reminding me that I didn't have my glasses on. But I'm like, am I the only one that kind of feels like this is strange? Like, not only is all of Amy's back meat on display even after the remaster, but her dress is insanely short, and no one cares. Like, have you played Shin Megami Tensei 5? No, but I've heard of it. Sega's been making some weird decisions with Rouge. And again, it's just so strange that they're leaving Amy as she is, but like, she's kind of risque. Is it literally just because she's flat that it's like, that Sega doesn't care? That her back meat is exposed, or her dress is super short? I had to take a work call, but what did I mean? You missed me trying to understand the crazy double standard when it comes to Amy and Rouge. Just wait for the stream to appear on Twitch. Just waiting for the stream to appear on Twitch soon. This stream won't appear on Twitch. But there's nothing stopping you from, like, if you're trying to, like, donate stuff, like, if you donated, say, like, if you super chatted, that would fill up the cup. Like, say if you did like a whole bunch of super chats, or you like, say, one super chat at, like, a $1 super chat at a time over and over, or if you, like, gifted one membership over and over, that would fill up the cup. That would fill up the glass. Now, am I telling you to do that? No. But if you're wondering about, like, how can you fuck with the glass, you can fuck with it like that. Don't tell them what he needs to do. He'll do it. But I don't want to just ignore his question. I feel like it's a good question. Like, not even necessarily for him, but for, like, if anybody else wants to annoy me by fucking filling up the cup and making a mess. If you want to get hypertechnical, her dress already covers half of her back, so they kind of don't have to, I guess. Well, Rouge's fucking, like, spy suit, like, covered up, like, a huge chunk of her body, too. Like, it pretty much, like, covered up half her body. Like, freaking Rouge's tail isn't even free. It's fucking under the suit. Amy's tail is just freely on display. And, like, I don't know, man. I legitimately think it's a double standard, which I'm not complaining all that much because I like Amy, but it's like, it's a legit double standard. And I'm just now realizing it. It's because Rouge isn't flat that they have to cover her up completely, and Amy just gets to fucking be upskirted every 5 seconds. Hope to absolutely have fun and Marvel Rivals again soon. I want to compete against Jeff as Jet. Against Jet as Jeff. Well, I definitely appreciate the super chat. Look at that. On YouTube, they're red rings. There you go. But thank you so much, DNA, for the $5. I appreciate it. Again, if you want to get hyper technology, okay, well, yeah. Honestly, I like Amy when she's dressed normal. Like, your AVI is actually really cool. I mean, I literally got this idea from AI, but I'm trying to mess around with it and make it, like, more personal. And I would already have, like, a Havoc the Wolf character replacing my Havoc Amy if I had the money for it, which, thanks to DNA, I might actually have the money for it pretty soon. I appreciate you, homie. The annoying thing about Twitch is I won't get paid from Twitch until around the 5th, and I won't get paid from YouTube this month until around the 21st to the 26th. And even then, I need just a little bit more. But I think DNA might actually already have me over the precipice. I think. Hold on, let me make sure I get that glass looking a bit less messy. Yeah, but no, I do like this outfit, and Havoc the Wolf like has this outfit for the most part, but I think the one thing I want to change is the medallion. Change it from the little red gem to like a golden sun medal that looks similar to the gold sun medals that I have across my channels. What else? Gotta realize I'm gonna be streaming later. Yes, you will be streaming later. Be careful. Again, I don't get it. Sega's been making weird decisions. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me about that, Judy. When I hear Jeff, I'm thinking of Jeff the Killer. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm sure DNA is plenty prepared. You have fun with that, like. Sorry for you, DNA. I don't play Jeff, so that'll never happen. I mean, it might. Who knows? Maybe you'll get dared into doing it like last time. I'm gonna go back to Hunter and Goldred at the moment. I don't know if I want to play Final Fantasy XIV as my Bacchanal character. We'll see. I'm trying to become Solaris. I mean, basically. I'm also trying to match with Leia a little bit. You know, she has the whole moon motif, so I kind of want to adopt the sun motif. I think she's going to be streaming around 8. I mean, it says that on her schedule. And of course, I remember because I'm an OG like that.
Sonic franchise.
But yeah, no, like... Why is Amy just a freaking, like, why is Amy just allowed to dress however she wants to? Well, I mean, we know why, because she's flat. And that's another thing, is, like, people are just like, oh, if you don't have fucking big, massive, like, fat titties, then you're not an adult. Even though people will freaking openly and gladly freaking, like, be horny over Surge. I've openly been horny towards Surge. No one, not even the one who will not be named, gives a shit. And she is built the exact same as Amy is, but I'm not going to get into that because I will be on that for like an hour. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. You'll have to pay me to play Jeff? Oh, like, oh, okay. Pay him to hurry up with my edit, bro. God damn it.
To handle writing them. So they changed the game writers, they hired a lore manager, so things were clearly set to go into a different direction. We had a successful Sonic movie under our belt, so there's a lot of new eyes on the franchise, so the time to strike was definitely now. As far as the games goes, it started with Knuckles. We got the prologue for him, which really kind of restored his character because he was someone who was probably character assassinated the most. Then
yes,
we tried to restore Sonic in Sonic Frontiers. Like or hate the story, it's certainly a different direction than what we were getting, and definitely a step in the right direction. Fast forward a couple of years later, and then we get one of the boldest and most ambitious attempts to restore a character's image with the fearless Year of Shadow, which gave us a Shadow Generations prologue animation as well as Sonic and Shadow Generations, probably one of the most successful games to come out of the franchise.
That's
so
cool.
With this,
wasn't Sonic Riders the game that put Rouge in a sports outfit? Yes, and that outfit was hot as hell. She was more covered up, and she looked sexier in that outfit than she does in her, like, standard outfit. Though, my favorite costume for her will always be her fucking Heroes outfit. Like, it's so unique. It looks so good on her. Sports bra, basically, yeah. And the thing is that they let her, like, do that for so long, and they were perfectly fine with it, even though her cleavage was completely on display. Probably even more so than it was, like, in the mainline games. You want me to hurry up? You shouldn't have fucked up the audio. I got shit to do, so suck my balls, bozo. Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fair. Julian says, "Yeah, I missed yesterday's Horror Chronicles, but I'll make up for it on Friday." Oh yeah, I can't wait. I'm genuinely like looking forward to your to your stream tonight, honey.
Bold new direction that Sega is taking for their characters. A lot of people are wondering who's next. Who's going to be the next character to get their image restored? A lot of those conversations involves.
I don't think that that's how we should look at these years of characters. Because some of the characters I think aren't that like terribly off. Like for instance, Blaze. I think Blaze is fine. They just need to fucking remember that she fucking exists. But I think Blaze is perfectly fucking fine. So, constituting these years as these are years to restore characters' images, I think is the wrong attitude to have. Like, I don't think that these should be looked at as such. I think these should be looked at ways to make them better, whether they were damaged or they're already good. Because a lot of characters, contrary to what to popular belief, a lot of these characters are fine. Like, a lot of these characters are fine. Like, Silver is a character that does need work, and that's only because Sega didn't know how to utilize him and didn't know if they wanted him to be tied to 06 or not. So they tried to put him in Rivals, and then they kind of gave up on Rivals. They kind of gave up on him, kind of relegated him to the Daisy position, to the kind of Waluigi position, where he's mainly just in side games. And then they brought him back in Forces, made him pretty much just the overpowered monster that he was in 06. And now he's just back to being Waluigi again. And it's just like, if we get a year of Silver, they need to figure out how important he's going to be to the overall story. Because I think he should be ridiculously important, especially because of what he represented when he first entered the series to begin with. But whatever they do, they need to fucking stick with it. I don't think it should be seen as making bringing the character back because he was bad. I think Silver has, again, I've said this before, I think Silver has some of the most potential, if not the most potential, out of every Sonic character. I used to think that was Blaze, but Sega doesn't give a shit about her. They seem to give more of a shit about Silver than Blaze, which sucks because I think they're both equally great characters that have equally, like, a lot of potential. And I think are sidelined for some of the stupidest fucking reasons. But again, I could go on a whole tangent about that. So these year ofs should not just be seen as like ways to redeem the characters. I think these should just be ways to make the characters basically put these characters in a better light overall and just be better characters, whether they're already good or not. Rouge is supposed to look sexy. She was designed to be the sexy older Latina woman, so why remove the sexy or remove the Latina? Because fucking Sega, well, not even just Sega, Sonic Team, they just don't. They second guess themselves too much. They really do. They second guess themselves way too much. Like, they already got rid of the ages. That really should have been enough. Like, why are we trying to make not even just look younger? She sounds younger too. Like, the voice actress is doing some voice work for her that makes her sound childish as shit, and I hate it. Because we already have characters that act childish. Why does every character need to act childish? Like, that's so annoying. Like, they don't need to do that. Give me some... Can we just make good Sonic games with these cool characters? Give me some good storyline. Yakuza does it all the time. Yeah, absolutely. Shit, have some of the Yakuza writers work on Sonic. That could be interesting. At least once. At least give them one game. Give the Yakuza... Give the freaking, like, the Gotoku, like, guys and girls one game with Sonic. One. And let's just see how they do. For all we know, they could do they'll do perfectly well. They already know how to make really, like, goofy stories, like, still compelling. And they also know how to write really fucking, like overrated villains, you know? I'm looking at you, Yakuza 3. Oops, did I say that? Did I say that? Oops. Did I fucking say that? Oh my god. Okay, so... Yeah, they need to make just dope moments with these characters, otherwise no one will care ultimately. Exactly, like if Sonic Team doesn't care, who else is going to? We're not getting great storylines again that stopped in 2010. We're never getting those peak stories like in the 2000s ever again. We're getting better storylines, but to the level of the 2000s games, I don't want to be super pessimistic and agree with Jet, but I fear that he might be right, at least until they like kind of get off of Ian Flynn's neck a little bit, which they have been letting him do a little bit more. You know, he's been putting some heart into these characters, but I think what they need to eventually like take the chains off of IDW, take the chains off of Ian Flynn, kind of let him go a little bit bonkers and see what comes out of it. I think because I know for certain that that Sonic Team is not letting Ian do everything he wants to with this franchise. And I feel like if they just gave Ian one game where they didn't give him any stipulations and they just told him go crazy, I'm not saying that it would be the best Sonic game ever, but I feel like Ian would probably make something that's on par with something as insane as some of the stuff in the early 2000s that's remembered fondly to this day, if he was just allowed to kind of go crazy, at least a little bit, for one game. Which I want to see. I want to see at least one game where they just let Ian go crazy. Just one. Rue's appearance was supposed to kind of play into the role she has. She's a jewel thief, but she also flirts and basically uses her charm to persuade herself out of trouble or to just be a tease. Yeah. And if they, it's funny. If they tried to keep those characteristics with how they have Rouge being portrayed now, that would make me uncomfortable. They literally made her chest, like, got rid of her chest, covered up her back, made her voice high-pitched, and made her sound fucking childish. Imagine you take this version of Rouge and have her, like, flirt with a grown-ass fucking gun agent or something to try to get out of trouble or to try to help Team Dark into, like, maybe infiltrating somewhere. I feel like that would actually be worse than the imagined problem that they think that they have with the way that Rouge originally was written. The imaginary problem that they created for themselves in their heads. I think the situation that they would be putting themselves into if they continued having Rouge try to be Rouge while not containing any of Rouge's characteristics, I think that would actually be worse. And I low-key want to see it happen just to see if I'm right. Now keep him away after 7. After 7, I don't want him. You don't want the Godoku guys working on Sonic after 7. Was 7 really that bad? I need to get back to Y3. Frontier storyline was so good from what I saw. Frontier storyline was good. You know, Jen will probably say, oh, it was actually really flawed. And it's like, that's great. I still think Sonic Frontiers' story was a great step in the right direction. It was coherent. It was fun. It had heart. It utilized the main cast. It was more good than bad. I'll probably be one of the only people to fucking actually like stand stand 10 toes down and behind Sonic Frontiers, saying that it was good, because you already know that eventually that there is going to be a wave of people saying that Sonic Frontiers was already really good, and they're going to act like they liked Sonic Frontiers the entire time. No, I'm getting in front of that before that even happens. I think Sonic Frontiers was good, and I'm going to stand on top of that hill, even if I'm sitting here by myself. Like, bro, especially like getting off of the hills of Forces. Frontiers was like the fucking Mona Lisa compared to that game. And they take the chains off Ian Flynn, you get the shit show that was Prime. I haven't watched Prime, so I don't even know what that fucking means. Soul says probably the most mature I've ever seen Sonic and the crew, for sure. He went crazy. It was terrible. Keep that man on a leash. I didn't even know like Ian Flynn wrote Prime, but again, I haven't seen Prime, so I'd have to make that decision for myself, because you're fucking dubious as shit over Frontiers, and I seriously have no idea what you're so dubious about. I have no idea. Like, I love you, Jet, but like, I feel like that's something I can't take at face value. I gotta watch that for myself. Okay, so if Rouge isn't a jewel thief, what does she do now? I don't know why they took away the femme fatale aspect of Rouge. I don't know either, especially since she was canonically older than everyone else. I don't see the point in taking that away. Now, I loved Y7 and Y8. Jess says, I don't like 7, won't speak on 8 or Yakuza and Hawaii, was not a fan of 7. So says, why and Hawaii was such a good spinoff. I mean, well, I had Majima. If it wasn't a good spinoff, I might actually have to beat someone up. I might actually have to fucking, like, kick someone in their kneecaps.
Silver the Hedgehog, who definitely peaked in his original debut game, but since then has kind of lost his signature edge that he once had in Sonic.
Grand 7 was cool. Okay, yeah. In fact, I kind of want to do a poll. Can I do a poll? I didn't play 8. I kind of want to do a poll. I'm gonna see if I can do a poll real quick because I want to see everybody. I want to see everybody else's fucking like opinions of this. What I want to know is why it's not letting me log in to talk on the chat here. It's not letting me actually like log in to talk on the chat here for some strange reason. So I'll have to probably do it like on my computer. But I know that not on my computer, on my phone. But I know that I can do polls. I'm genuinely curious what everyone has to say about it. Can I do a poll? Filter messages. There's goals. Where are the polls though? I know you can do polls, but I don't know how you do it specifically. But I know you can do them. Whatever. Maybe you can only do them on desktop or something. Let me see. Give me 1 second, you guys, because I figure that I might want to do something like this later, and I also want to get some more opinions on it. Hold on, I'll read what that says in a second. But like, I'm genuinely curious. Why does it only say that there are only 5 watching? It said more people were watching earlier. Engage with your audience. Start a poll. Okay. How can you not be logged in even though you're streaming? I don't know. Streamlabs OBS. I love Streamlabs OBS, but it ain't perfect. Okay. I'll start that poll. I'll see what people say. I'm going to announce the director's cut for Yakuza 0 for the PS5. We shall see. I can't vote, but it's whatever. I don't want to close the poll either, but whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'll just continue, but I'll have that poll up. See, the poll is like in the way, kind of, but I'm not going to worry about it, I guess. It's kind of just in a really stupid position. It's whatever. Play.
6. Watching him play this secondary background role in Sonic Forces and getting defeated by Infinite certainly hasn't helped. But in
getting defeated, first of all, Silver was one of the only people that fucking actually tried to go toe-to-toe with him. The only other people... Who else physically, like, bothered to try fighting him? Like, what, Shadow? Sonic? Okay, so basically they're the only 2 that really fucking matter anyway. It's just like, just saying that he got defeated, I don't think is doing Silver justice. He didn't immediately get defeated. He was going fucking like bad, like pound for pound with the guy for a little bit. You could say, oh, Infinite was holding back, but that doesn't take away the fact that Silver didn't just die and didn't just fucking spontaneously combust. Why don't people put respect on this man's name, bro? Like, do we play the same game? He didn't instantly die. Like, I know very well you're the only one that says it's not. Damn straight. Fuck with 7. So we're also made Infinite lose the Phantom Ruby cup. He lost the fight. Yeah, he held his own. Yeah, I forgot that he did that. Not only did he hold his own in the fight, but he also made fucking Infinite lose the Phantom Ruby. Like, come on, man. Like, he was probably one of the fucking top 3 reasons that Infinite didn't win. Sonic was, of course, at the top. Silver was probably 3rd. In 2nd place was probably the fucking rookie. Because classic Sonic was just fucking dicking around with Tails the entire time. Good lord. I will say it's different learning curve in comparison to the OG games. At least we have Stranger Than Heaven for all of us fellow free combat fans. Yeah, I definitely want to try that one out. Maybe I would have liked it a bit more if it were a traditional Yakuza, but the turn-based combat is pretty unique change. I don't like JRPG style combat either, and that's why I don't plan on touching it. Literally the only reason I would actually go out of my way to buy and play Yakuza 7 is if someone like bought the game for me or donated enough money so that I could play it. But like, that's not, just like Persona 5, JRPGs are not games I go out of my way to play, because I just don't like turn-based fighting. I don't. I just never liked it. I think it's boring personally. Jet says because it's forces, nobody respects anything about forces because nobody has critical thinking, just stuck in their anti-forces fifis. I have plenty of reasons to not like forces, and eventually I will make a video, and you will probably watch it, see all the things that I put in that video, and still say that I'm probably just hating for no reason, which is fine. You know, you're entitled to feel however you want to about it, Jet. But it's just like, I've played that game like 3 times, and it got worse every time I played it. And what a lot of people had figured, that's what a lot of people would say. You personally want Judgment 3? I would probably try out the Judgment games too. Judgment, in my opinion, might be better than most Yakuza games. Really? Wow. That is an interesting freaking ideology to have. I mean, I'm I mean, I'd probably agree if I ever played it. Amp says, not gonna lie, seeing people downplay him for that when arguably Bro lasted the longest against him, that isn't the Avatar says. Yeah, no, it's like, I don't understand. That's one of the Jets. I know I'm responding to what Amp's saying right now, but Jet, that's probably one of my favorite things about Forces. Like, I like things about Forces. I don't think Forces is the worst game ever. I hate it. I really do not like Forces at all. I think the game is fucking boring and dull, and it's not fun to play. But one of the things that I like about Forces, because there are quite a few things that I like about Forces, one of the things that I like about Forces is how they handled Silver. I think they handled Silver incredibly well. Like, pretty much every time he was on screen, he was not wasting time. He was there to do business. Like, whether he was talking about how Tails cannot be counted on right now, while we're all trying to figure out what to do about the literal godforsaken world ending, or when he was fighting fucking Infinite and made him lose the Phantom Ruby, like, Silver was on business in that game, and I fucking love how they handled him. Like, I wish they had handled it like everyone else the same way that they handled him. Because they put some respect back on Silver's name. And the fact that, and that's one thing that I don't like about Forces haters. One thing that I really don't like about Forces haters, because I don't like Forces, but I wouldn't consider myself the run-of-the-mill Forces hater. Because I do think that there are a lot of qualities about Forces that are good. But one thing that I hate that Forces haters always say is they just gloss over and hand-wave away Silver's accomplishments in that game, and how well he was written in that game, and it pisses me off, because it's like, he was written ridiculously well in that game, bro, and no one cares! No one cares! Like, what? No one gives a shit, bro! It's the same, I can't talk about Elise, that's for the video. Let's just say that this isn't the first situation that I've been in where I ended up liking a character because they ended up being actually, like, written well in a game that people hate. Also, give me 1 second. I'm getting a phone call. One moment. Okay, that was just something for a credit card. Hey, Crimson, welcome to the stream. And you say you like Infinite? Hey, that's fine. I like Infinite as well. I think he was fucking, like, I actually think he was probably the best part of Forces. I said that I like a few things about Forces. Infinite is probably the best part of Forces for me. Though something that I don't like is how apparently he fucking died at the end of it, even though it did not look like he died, but apparently he fucking died at the end of it. I don't remember anything from Forces. I remember a few things. There are a few good things in Forces. You did buy the first Judgment, did you? I think I mentioned it was on sale or something. That was when I had a console. I don't think I bought it yet. I think I was planning to, but I never got a chance to. At least I think. No, I did. I bought the PlayStation version, but I don't think I ever got a chance to start it. So the stupid shit that happened in here, decided to watch the stream. Let me actually check the poll, because I think the poll has been up for long enough. So let me actually check on the poll. Give me 1 sec. I should never have opened up a credit card line. I think this might be the last credit card line that I ever fucking open. Let me take a look at the poll and see how it's doing. If it lets me anyway. Where the fuck is the poll, bro? I might have to reload the stream. Just want to see the fucking votes so I can get this thing off my screen. It doesn't show me the poll. Okay, whatever. I'm assuming that most people said that they liked it. Let me take another look. Let me go on. I'm going on my computer real quick. Ooh, there's a Wolf Among Us 2 update. Interesting. What if Margaret never came back? I might have to watch that. I've been watching some videos regarding regular show as well by Kalos. I don't know if anyone's heard of the user Kalos, but I've been watching some of his videos on the on regular show. Okay, most people actually said that they didn't play it. 57% of people said that they didn't play it. 14% said no. 29% said yes. Okay, fair enough. I appreciate you guys being honest. Okay. But yeah, no, it's just like the Amp said hot take. I feel like Silver's as best character wise was 06. It checks the boxes of a lot of his traits, like him being a dickhead, naive, and desperate, whilst being driven by his hope. I do think that he was best utilized in 06. Of course, the second, very close second, I think, was Forces. Like, he was actually ridiculously mature in Forces. Like, crazy mature. And that's how I think Silver should be from here on. But unfortunately, I don't think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to continue having him being naive and immature, because that's his character trait, I guess. That's all he is. He can't be anything more than that. And it's just like, and the one thing that kind of does upset me about the backlash of Forces is that maybe they're not going to try to write him to ever be like mature again, because of how the overall game was taken and, you know, reviewed. And that's honestly a darn shame, because I really enjoyed like seeing Silver in Forces and how he was written there. I know there are lots of valid reasons to dislike and criticize Forces. I tore that game apart in my own video, but a lot of the criticism is unfounded. I remember watching your video, and it looked like it was mostly criticism, and then you just saying, like, oh, if people dislike this game, it's probably not for any of the legit reasons that I gave, which, I don't know how to feel about that, but I'm not going to tell you how to make your videos. Just as you did by the first Judgment, didn't you? Yeah, I do. I thought Infinite Return to Eggman, but I guess not. That's what I thought happened, too. And then eventually, at some point, like, on a Twitter post, someone was showing, like, a booklet open that was showing basically like information about certain characters, and there was a page about Infinite, and it said he died at the end of Sonic Forces. I'm like, what? Most people haven't played what? Forces or Judgment? The Switch, I'm gonna tell you this 1000%. If you decide to replay Forces, play the Japanese version. Please, the story is semi-competent in the Japanese version. I'm still dubious on whether or not that's true, but I haven't played it yet, so at some point I probably will. Maybe that'll be the version that I fucking play, like, on streams at some point. I'll play through the Japanese dubs, since apparently that one's so much better than the English version. Amp says, honestly, hot take, but I feel like Silver... Oh, I already read that one. How do you access the Japanese version? Do I have to buy it on another account? I think it's just switching, like, the dub from English to Japanese. There's a mod for it with the Japanese translation. There's a mod. I have to get a mod to get the fucking quote-unquote superior version of the fucking story. That's fucking retarded. Why would I do all of that? I feel like it's a fucking... It's the fault of the game if the game is shipped with apparently 2 inferior versions of the fucking story. Because there should already be Japanese audio and Japanese, like, subtitles, like, in the game packaged, but there's a mod to get the original fucking like story of the game. Why am I doing all of that? Why do I have to do all of that to then fucking constitute this game as being like not as shitty? Why do I have to do all of that? That's dumb. That's really dumb. It's for the Sonic Encyclopedia. He got consumed by the Phantom Ruby. Well, yeah, so he died. Like, he fucking died. Like, no, that's stupid. I shouldn't have to do all of that, and then, like, still because I have to fucking do all of that, that still constitutes as the game not being as shittily written. Like, that's dumb. Like, like the audio, the superior fucking audio should be, and fucking translation should be in the fucking game if it's so important and if it's so good. Yeah, but you're a Nintendo bootlicker. I do not trust you! The mod is a translated version of the original JP version because I don't know if you can actually read Japanese. Well, no, you can't. You know what I mean, Jet. You're, bro, I love you, but you're starting to piss me off. You know what I mean, right? The Japanese audio, because you can switch the audio to being Japanese, right? The English subtitles of the game that I paid $60 for. I don't even remember how much it was at launch. It was probably like $40. The game that I paid $40 for at launch should come with the fucking Japanese audio that Sega deem is the most fit to tell the narrative. So the English subtitles should then translate what is actually being said by the characters on screen that are speaking Japanese. If the English subtitles are having the characters say something that they're not saying, that it actually makes the game worse, because they thought that what the characters were saying was actually not going to tell the story correctly, so they changed it. Just because the Japanese were saying something specific that the English subtitles weren't conveying, that doesn't magically make the Japanese dub that much better. Because Sega, the giant corporation, didn't think it was better. Why would the giant corporation not have the subtitles convey exactly what the Japanese people were saying when they were voicing these characters if the story that they were telling was that much better than what we got through the subtitles or in English? That doesn't make any sense. Why would they fucking change the subtitles to not tell the story that the Japanese voice actors are telling? That's stupid. And that's still the game's fault. That's not anybody else's fault that the game decided to do that. Sega put that and deliberately did that because they thought that that would actually be better than what the Japanese voice actors were saying. So that's still a point against the game. That's not a point against me because I wasn't born fucking yellow. That's a point against the game for saying that apparently their Japanese voice actors were not telling the definitive story, so the subtitles were put in there to tell the story that Sega thought was better. Jet, that's still the fault of Sega. That does not make their game better. In fact, I would probably argue that makes their game worse, because they weren't confident in the story that they were telling, so they had to partially change it. That makes it worse. That actually makes the game worse, and you're probably gonna get annoyed because you're actively making me dislike Sonic Forces more by telling me this information. You are actively making me dislike this game more, and I know for certain that's not what you wanted to do. That is so retarded. Why did Sega do that? Why did Sega do that? I paid $40 for the original story of Sonic Forces, and what you're basically telling me is that they basically ripped me off. What you're telling me is that Sega ripped me off because they took away a story that was apparently better, and they said, "No, you're gonna get a worse story. That'll be $40, please." What? Are they taking me for a retard? Do they think I have sucker written on my forehead? Oh no, that's still Sega's fault. Fuck Sega for that, but they've been doing that for years, and so have so many other companies. At this point, I just accept. I'm not fucking, bro. They could take it all the way to the fucking base, bro. That's so fucking stupid. Why would they do that? And this is the first time I've even heard of this being a thing. That's the messed up thing. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that they deliberately just changed stories, even for the Japanese sub, that's supposed to be telling the story that the Japanese voice actors are telling, but apparently that's not actually what that does. America, now this game isn't autistic enough. That's so gay, bro. I think that might have single-handedly ruined my day, because I was trying to defend this game, and now I feel stupid for defending it. That's so gay. That is so fucking gay. Fucking let me make sure I got everybody's fucking comments, bro. Bro, oh. Is this crash out justified or am I insane? Like, I feel like it is. I'm not, just as I'm not a Nintendo bootlegger, I despise Nintendo. Don't you dare put that label on me, you Paul. Dude, like, I can confirm that Jen hates Nintendo. Oh my god. Yeah, these companies are literally insulting you in the dumbest way possible, and I hate it. So movies do that too? Why? Why do we not, as Americans, deserve the story that the Japanese are telling? If it's so much better, it doesn't make sense. Like, I have 2 different versions of a martial arts movie, The Grandmaster from Wong Kar-wai. Okay, so it's like that in that too. That's why. I feel like we're getting cheated when they do that. Especially when it's a situation like this where apparently the storytelling is just better in the Japanese version, but the localizer said, nah, we don't want you to know about that story. You'll just never know about it. Fucktard. That'll be $40 of your hard-earned money. Like imported blood points and shit. That sounds borderline illegal? Like, that sounds like borderline theft? Like, that feels like I'm being stolen from. That generally feels like I'm being stolen from, but alright. When it came out, Chinese folks said Americans won't understand the nuance of our language and such. It's nuance. Corporate greed has been crazy for a while. I understand that, but that's just like a different layer of greed. To where, like, they're stealing storylines and plot points from us now? Like, bro, the Lorax might have been onto something. When stories come over to other languages, they change it to fit over here, and frankly, the original version of the story is usually better. I mean, that's what I would assume. Like, I would understand if the original story of Sonic Forces was talking about, like, I don't know, fucking shagging fucking sheep, but, like, somehow I feel like it's not that extreme of a difference. Fucking shagging sheep. Because the characters came from over there, so they usually have a better understanding of these characters. This has been a thing for decades. Yeah, but still. I feel like, here's the thing. I would probably still prefer the American version, even though Jet from Hell and High Water will praise everything Japan does. I probably would still prefer the American variation, but the thing is, I want to at least still have the option. That's what's pissing me off about this. Because I'll probably still prefer the American version, but I want to at least have the option. Because of situations like this. Where, say, a friend of mine says the Japanese version is better, and then I'm like, okay, so I'll just play the Japanese version. And then he's like, well, technically you won't get the full extent of the Japanese version because the localizers omitted a lot of stuff. And so in order to actually get the full Japanese version, not only do you have to pay $40 of your hard-earned money for a game, but you also have to go somewhere else to fucking get a mod so that the localization is actually accurate to the story that the Japanese voice actors are actually telling, because you don't get that with the $40 game. Like, that's a problem. What if I still had a console? Then I would just have to go fuck myself! Like, what? This is, oh god, I'm starting to sound like my friend. There's like, Americans won't understand the nuance of our language, give them autism. So it says, I've known about that movie for years. I couldn't find the Japanese version until I looked for a Japanese Amazon type site. So it says, honestly, that's why I play certain games in the language that it came from to get a more authentic experience as possible. I do that with the Yakuza games all the time. Again, I will always be in favor of English dubs, because I know that English dubs can be good. I will never co-sign to the idea that Americans just do everything worse, because we don't. And that's why I'll always prefer dubs over subs, because I think they get a bad rap. Then again, I gravitate to things that I think get a bad rap for very, like, shit reasons all the time. Hence why my favorite character in Sonic is Amy, and my favorite male character is Silver. Both characters that are hated for some of the dumbest fucking reasons I've ever seen and heard. But it's just, and it's not, and here's the thing, I don't like the debate about what's better and what's worse. I really don't like that debate, and I don't like that conversation, which is why I try to stay away from it. And I usually it only comes up when I'm talking to Jet because he loves that conversation. But I don't like the conversation. I like people just be able to enjoy what they enjoy and not have it be a sense of like, well, what I like is better than what you like. I think that's stupid, and I hate it. But at the same time, I do understand why people might be frustrated in a situation like Sonic Forces, where apparently the story quality between English and Japanese is like night and day. In situations like that, I can understand the divide. But the thing is, the divide doesn't have to fucking be there. You could just hire localizers and writers that give a shit about their job. But I guess sometimes that's just too hard to do. Okay, and then you're saying, okay, now I'll say this Japanese version still ain't great, but it's definitely better. Okay. That's low-key a bar that's kind of like digging itself into hell, but I'll take your word for it. Oh yeah, we can get some great stuff like Panty and Stocking, Bleach, Horimiya, Blue Exorcist, Cowboy Bebop, Tower. Oh yeah, the list goes on. Oh, hold on. This is an actually really important call. Give me 1 second. All right, I am back. I am back. Level my ears bleed. Is that how much overdrive? Man, those rows hurt my ears. How much overdrive distortion you want? Is that was the music loud? I don't know. I had to take a business call. Sorry about that. I mean, if you want to be honest about your experience and whatever, that's fine. I guess I just find my life is simpler when I just have to worry about like consuming one thing one time. And if I'm seen as like knowing less or being less knowledgeable or less intelligent because I don't fucking compare dubs, then that's fine. I'll be the dumbest motherfucker on the planet. I don't really give a shit. And distortion is a bit manic, especially hitting on both ears at the same time. The distortion of what? Like the music and the be right back thingy? Or what do you what distortion are you talking about? But let's get back to the video, because we barely even touched this.
In weeks, Sonic fans took it upon themselves to actually restore Silver's image with this crazy fan theory that has been going absolutely viral everywhere. So why is Silver the Hedgehog back in the forefront of discussion, and what exactly is going on? Well, in order to tell this story, we have to start with the beginning of the context, because it actually involves Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, surprisingly.
Okay, so we are talking about the Sonic Racing Cross Worlds thing. Hunting dodos in Final Fantasy 14 and hunting Gulchers and Wizard 101s. He's like, I have a natural hatred for birds in general. It seems like you do. Talking about, yeah, I was talking about how loud the keys are. Oh, really? For a Bit Crusher? That's, I wonder why there's, I could turn it down. Hold on. What is the distortion? Hold on. Let me check it on my end, you guys. Okay, well, if you guys said that there's nothing that I can do, then if you guys say there's nothing that I can do, then I won't worry about it. But I did still turn it down a little bit, so I mean, you can still hear it, obviously.
So it said that the new Sonic Racing Cross Worlds game has something like 500 different unique character dialogue options. Potentially it's more, but that's just what I remember seeing off the top of my head. To the delight of many Sonic fans, Sage, who is the daughter of Dr. Eggman, was included in this game. And one of the things that she said in this game may have somehow trickled down and changed the fate of the perception of
Turned it down.
Forever.
Small thing. Okay.
Cross Worlds Open Network Test Beta was released. Beta miners were able to go into the files and see some of the voice lines that the characters had. For Sage, this was one of her introduction lines. It said that she is confirmed to inherit the Eggman Empire after Eggman is gone. The line says, I am Sage, daughter to Dr. Eggman, heir to the Eggman Empire. Knowing that Sage is currently the heir to the Eggman Empire, the theory crafting really took off after this dialogue between Silver and Sage. It says,
Baby girl has a car, apparently. I mean, it would make sense that Sage would be able to learn how to drive. I mean, she is like an AI, so...
Silver, there is no Eggman Empire, my time. This is your chance to change your ways and become a force for good. Sage then replies and says, your observation means I must work harder to ensure my father's vision becomes a reality. So this implies, obviously, that the Eggman Empire was defeated in the past. It also—
Wait, she runs the Robotnik Empire, apparently. And I really do hope that Sega runs with that idea. I really do. Because outside of like Eggman Nega, who I would actually argue is not Silver's antagonist, but is actually Blaze's antagonist that he kind of just adopted in the Rivals games, Silver doesn't really have an antagonist. There was Iblis, but Iblis is gone. So Silver doesn't have anyone to fight. So it would be amazing if Sega then turned around and made it to where Sage becomes Silver's new adversary. That would be so badass. Silver and her are rivals now. That's pretty crazy. It seems that way. Whereas, like, I didn't even know she was in the game. Well, she wasn't in the beta. Which, if you guys missed the beta, you guys really missed out. That beta was so fun. I love the fan art based off of this. I've seen so much fan art about it too. Just says the Eggman Empire doesn't even exist in Silver's future. The idea of Sage wanting to change that would be dope. Absolutely. She'd be like, "Oh, there is no Eggman Empire. I'm about to fucking fix that shit."
Kind of plants the idea in our head that the Eggman Empire could even survive on after Dr. Eggman. But that wasn't the only dialogue between the two, and I would argue that the next batch of dialogue probably is the one that truly kicked off everything that I'm about to explain. So when Sage is speaking to Silver, here's what the dialogue is. Sage says, "Your presence implies my father will succeed if not opposed. He will be pleased by this." Silver then says, "Don't use me to encourage that madman. I'll beat you today and prove just how hopeless your cause truly is." I think
it's also crazy that they're having this fucking like heated discussion, like literally threatening each other in this fucking kart racer. I want everyone to remember that this is dialogue in a kart racer. That is so fucking funny to me. See, I kind of want Robotnik to come back and Sonic Rose Silver versus Sage across Robotnik. That would be pretty badass. Kind of like have a Sonic Rush, but with Sonic and Silver instead of Sonic and Blaze. So Sage is like an evil Rosalina. I guess that's one way of looking at it. I've never really compared Sage to Rosalina, but I guess that's one way to look at it for sure.
Thing a lot of people could pull away from this is just like the language that they use, like if not oppose, if the heroes fall, if my father fails. This type of language kind of reminds me.
You being alive proves my father won. I'm going to kill you. Yeah, it's just like, see, he's not phased. He's like, I'm gonna fucking end your life, little girl. No, not a racing game. I mean, like, I know what you mean. I'm saying that that's where this dialogue is from. This dialogue is from a kart racer. That's the crazy thing about it. I would love to see this in a mainline game too.
Of the Zelda timeline.
I'd argue Sonic Rush is a mainline game, so comparing it to that, I think is very accurate.
Where you think of like the Ocarina of Time timeline where the hero could potentially fall and it causes a whole new branching timeline. So I think that's where a lot of the inspiration for this movement has begun. It's kind of cool. You never really think about what happens after the Sonic characters are gone, but this is a discussion for a little bit later on in the video. So you could say most people were pretty excited about the news, except for Metal Sonic. I mean, man, this guy just cannot catch a break.
Absolutely not. Metal Sonic alive, point of view after getting abandoned by his father.
So the idea that there's a successor to Eggman's Empire is kind of something that you just don't think about, but the premise of it doesn't really seem so far-fetched considering the nature.
Sage, I'm going to continue my father's will, Silver. I will end your shit right. That's another good one. Dorito, please. I'll give you the honors if you're still here. Dude, can we get Mecha Sonic back? I would love to get Mecha Sonic back too, but we kind of had this conversation before during the Sonic 2 Let's Play, remember? The Sonic 2 stream. Mecha Sonic and Battle Sonic, they have like the same purpose. So seeing those separately might not be a thing that happens. But again, I would love Metal Sonic to get a Mecha Sonic transformation. That is what I want to see, because I feel like that's way more feasible. I always like Mecha more than Metal. Now, that's understandable, especially since Metal Sonic hasn't really done anything recently. Because that a Sonic game with future Sage as the main antagonist would be fire. Bro, I would play the fucking shit out of that. Like I said in one of my earlier videos, I would love to see a Silver the Hedgehog game. Like, I want that so much.
Of what Eggman does. He is a scientist that invents artificial beings, such as his daughter, Sage. Unlike human beings, which Dr. Eggman is, robots and machines are not bound to the confines of mortality like human beings are. There will be a day when most heroes and villains alike in the Sonic franchise will cease to exist, especially when you consider 200 years into the future in Silver the Hedgehog's current present day. There will be no Sonic, There will be no Tails. There won't be a Dr. Eggman, but perhaps his legacy could live on forever through his technology.
But Mecha Sonic has that dope ass transformation where he turns gold through Master Emerald energy. Yeah, and Metal Sonic could adopt that too. He can like you have to remember the transformations are like loosely based off of Dragon Ball anyway, and the Dragon Ball characters don't have just one transformation. You can literally transform to Mecha Sonic and then maybe use the power of the emeralds to become like Super Mecha Sonic. I still think that that's in the realms of possibility. Am said, damn, canon in the comics, last thing Metal did was be a bat bike victim. Huh? What does that mean? Bat bike? Was he in a DC crossover and got hit with a bat bike? Because so that's funny as hell. And his battle theme is dope as fuck. I haven't heard it in a while. You might have to send it to me so I can check it out. Neo can go super too. Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, can't Neo go super as well? I'm pretty sure he can.
So, now that we have all the required context to understand the phenomenon of this new Silver revival in terms of his public perception, or really the theory about it.
And there's Korn. Big shout out to Korn.
Goes like this. An artist of Korn Art 3 on
Yep, and got low dipped by Batman Spike. That is crazy. That is fucking crazy.
Twitter, make sure to give them a follow, released some artwork which shows a post-apocalyptic future where the Eggman Empire succeeds and lives on.
I'm gonna leave Metal alone.
Silver the Hedgehog wearing a cape, and he could potentially be the hero that the future needs. But the reason why this is so interesting is that hundreds of Sonic artists have jumped in to kind of elaborate what a post-apocalyptic future where the Dr. Eggman Empire succeeds and lives on could potentially
look there's
like.
so much
there's
here.
So much fan art. There's been comics. There's apparently 3 different fan games in development that explore
3 different fan games. We will be there. That's something that I actually wanted to talk to you guys about. And maybe I'll do a poll about that as well, but you guys can just kind of answer here. Since this is a Sonic channel, would you guys want to watch me do streams where I play like Sonic, not only just Sonic games in general, because I'm already doing that over on Havoc Streams. Go subscribe if you haven't already. But playing like Sonic fan games, would you guys want to see that on this channel? If you guys want to see that on this channel, like give me some W's in the chat. Yep, we will be there 100%. Give me some W's in the chat if you would want to watch me stream some Sonic fan games. We will be there. Eggman, get me Metal Overlord. This is Base Batman's Black World again. Like I need a little bit more firepower than this. But yeah, no, that would be dope. I had a feeling that you guys would probably be down with it, because that was something that I was thinking of maybe adding to the channel, like playing some Sonic fan games. Let's see, Korn art. I'm just adding some tags. Okay. Get me out of here. Hold on. Okay, save that tag, minimize. W. I love your take on the remastered version of Sonic. PO6 is something that I want to try out. I'm seeing some W's. All right. It sounds like that's something that's coming to the channel soon then. Now I'm wondering, do I want to maybe like stream them on Twitch and then maybe like cut them up into like kind of into not into segments, but kind of cut them up into a montage as like a standalone video on this channel? I might do it like that. I'd love to see you play Forces Overclock. That's another one that I want to try out as well, because there are so many. Like, there are so fucking many. But let's get back to the reaction.
Shows the limitless potential of what Silver the Hedgehog could be, but in addition to that, just shows kind of how talented the Sonic community is with the artwork, as well as the fan game developers. Like, tons of talented people at a moment's notice could just come together and create fan games, animations, artwork, comics, whatever, you name it, and have it look so good. But also, the premise is just so promising. So, not to go through every—
Might make a video about Sonic fan games video someday. That would be awesome. Oh my goodness. Pre-Neo say she looks so cool. She looks so cool.
Single piece of artwork.
Like, look at that fucking coat, man. There needs to be a more kind of like either morally gray or villainous freaking female characters in like long coats. I don't think we have enough of them.
But I'll try to highlight as many artists as I can. One of the biggest and most prominent themes from this new Silver headcanon timeline that people have been cooking up is the brand new Neo Sage. So Sage, 200 years into the future, trying to continue her father's legacy. Considering that she's an AI, that would mean that she's probably immortal. A future where Sage, said to be Dr. Eggman—
looks so good. These designs look so good. Wait, that's Sage? Yep, no, that's not Sage. That's Neo Sage. All right, it's a little different, Sage is aura farming with that coat. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, she looks so good. She looks so fucking good. Can we ever get enough of those? No, I don't think there's a such thing as there being enough. Like, there's no such thing as too many of those. All right, we need more. Bro, I'd love for Sage to become real somehow and become an actual person. Become an actual person. I don't know. That kind of scares me. I don't think I would want to come across Sage in real life. Neo Sage looks dope as fuck. Especially not Neo Sage. She looks like she could fucking break your spine with her fucking, like, eyeballs. Like a Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2. Oh my god.
His creation reaches her potential and takes the reins of the Eggman Empire and becomes an even greater threat than he ever was.
Look up Spider-Man 2 Doc Ock promo photos and tell me I'm lying. Hold on. Let me see what you're talking about. Doc Ock, Spider-Man 2 Doc Ock promo photos. Spider-Man 2 Doc Ock promo photos. Let me take a look. Oh wow. Yeah, no, kind of. I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it. Hold on. See if I can change it and just show these real quick. If it'll let me. No. Okay, it may be. Okay, there we go. There we go. So I'm assuming you mean these right here. Like these photos, specifically maybe like this one. Doc Ock does look like really good from Sonic to Spider-Man 2. I forgot how good he looks in Spider-Man 2. Like, his design is fucking, like, pretty much, like, flawless. No, I mean, Neo Sage becoming real and fighting Sonic and company. Oh! I think I know what you... I mean, well, she is real, though, in that sense. Oh, you sent it to me on Discord? Okay. Like, in that sense, I would actually argue that she is real, but... I don't know. Yeah, okay, so yeah, this one. Yeah. So yeah, I did show one that's like that on here. Okay. So yeah, like this. You guys can kind of see it right there. And then there's this one down here. But yeah, let me go ahead and switch back to what I was looking at. If I can find it. Yeah, that one. Yeah, look, he looks good. He looks so fucking good.
This persistent nemesis of Silver the Hedgehog just sounds like such an incredible concept. So that's the basic premise, which has inspired countless fans.
Oh, look at that fucking metal Silver. Oh man, he looks badass too. Not gonna lie, those whole thing with Silver concepts that Sega might never use it, not because they don't like Silver, because they're gonna have to hire Korn for the idea. Oh, I mean, well, they could change around a little bit, maybe like use a premise of like Silver and like Sage like. I guess, clashing in some way, because technically they're the ones that created that idea. But they, I guess they wouldn't have to use this specific concept, and that's the thing. Like, the idea of Sega fucking hiring fans, they've always been, like, really, like, iffy about. Especially since, you know, other fans hate the idea of talented fans actually being able to work with Sega. And, you know, they're jealous. And then they fucking, like, get mad, like, that's what, it should have been me! Like, how about you let the nigga with talent who is also a fan of the thing that you're a fan of get their bread and, like, actually get some work done and make some money. Knowing damn full well that they're more talented than you. Like, that's so fucking cringe to me. Sega's never been iffy about hiring fans, the fuck? They haven't been? It's not what all the fucking Sonic tubers say. They make a fucking, like, issue about it, like, every single time it's even considered. As if it's some cardinal sin for Sega to do so. Like, did we forget they hired a whole fan team to make official projects? Which fan team was that? Remind me which fan team that was. Let's see. No, that's over as hell. Super Sage, Sage Overlord, the Endless. So many possibilities. So many. Yeah, they hired Korn the same with the Dead Team Headcanon. Also, was it Headcanon that was the fan team? Well, then yeah. In that case, let's bring back the fucking the meme that fucking LS Mark created. Fucking hire this man. Sega, hire this man. I can't wait to get so much hate for just saying that. for saying Sega hired this man. Then what's the problem? Just hire him. You're making it seem like it's a problem then. Fucking hire him then. Fucking hire Korn. He's honestly good at what he does.
And arts. I mean, for example, look at this. Silver versus a metal Silver. 3D models and animations have already been made. The idea that Shadow the Hedgehog is immortal and shows up in Silver's timeline to help him defeat Neo Sage. The possibility of Omega showing up. It seems like the year of Silver, or just like this fan demand for Silver the Hedgehog to be redeemed, was all started from one little piece of art. What's ironic?
I really hope it happens. Richard Whitehead's team, the dudes here made the remasters of Sonic 1, 2, CD, and Sonic Mania. Ah, okay. Christian Whitehead led that team. Well then, yeah, no, Sega hired this man. Then what's the fucking problem?
About all of this is that I was going to.
I think we can live without Sonic Mania 2. Genuinely, I think we can live without it. I'm just kidding. If they make a Sonic Mania 2, then that's awesome.
My own headcanon theory about Silver potentially being the main character of the Sonic franchise. And then it just so happens that this new Silver movement comes out where just every single day there's brand new artwork being released with thousands of likes and retweets showcasing the new Silver timeline. But here's the thing that in a way kind of leads me to believe that Silver could be viewed as the main character of the Sonic franchise. I mean, not actually, it's obviously the Sonic franchise, but in terms of narrative, hear me out. When Sega released an official character bio for Silver back in 2023, it said that Silver is a young, aspiring hero from 200 years in the future. He commands a powerful psychokinesis, which allows him to manipulate objects with his mind, fly through the...
If it was me, I'd be hiring a bunch of fans to help them make epic shit. I mean, hey, if that's what you wanted to do.
Air and even teleport short distances while he
already got 3 dope live action movies. Oh, for sure. The 3 Sonic movies are amazing.
Can naively be led astray. Silver's time period was once ravaged and ruined, but together with Sonic, Blaze, and others, he helped restore its blue skies and peaceful days, even if he can't remember how. These days, he travels to Sonic's time via mysterious portals that appear when things in the past go awry. He's dedicated to doing whatever it takes to ensure the future remains peaceful and prosperous. So,
I can live without a Mania 2. I mean, they wanted Superstar to be Mania 2, but yeah, that turned out how it did. I mean, I guess their hearts were in the right place with what they were trying to do with it.
For those of you who don't know, the reason why Silver appears in past adventures post 06, as explained in that character bio, when things go wrong in the past, a portal appears for him to return to the past to fix the future. In Sonic 06, Silver's future is devastated and
also Silver has a dope as fuck, dude. It's so consistently good. And I love it. And unlike with Sonic and Shadow, it hasn't changed because it just defines him so perfectly well. And I think even if he did go on like another character arc, they would be able to find some way to, I guess, really like still solidify Dreams of an Absolution by Bentley Jones to still work well with his narrative. As opposed to, you know, someone like Sonic and Shadow, who their themes like constantly fucking change.
Into Crisis City. This implies that all of the heroes died and failed. When you look at instances like the IDW Sonic Forces prequel in the comic,
like I said when we found out they were making the game, can't trust RZest for nothing. You really do not like RZest.
Silver says that the future is in ruin, so that's why he has to come back and fix it. The same thing happened in the Metal Virus arc. When Silver returned to his future, it was completely in ruin. So once again,
I was gonna say I love the version that they use in the Sonic Generations where you stand next to him. It's really good.
And this implies
so
that
good.
Sonic, Shadow, whoever the case may be, the heroes of the past
The guitar riff and the bass line. The bass line is fucking not worthy, man.
So what does this mean? Well, it means the heroes of the past will not succeed unless the protector of the future returns to save them. I mean, sure, Sonic's usually the
fucking Sonic freaking picking up Silver picking up Sonic like that. I used to do that all the time when I played Sonic 06 with my fucking siblings. I'm glad Frontiers added character themes back. Me too. The character themes in Frontiers were so fucking good. Like I almost didn't have a right to be as good as they were.
The one that ends up defeating the boss, but technically this is kind of how you have to look at it. Since Sonic the Hedgehog is a static character, which means that he doesn't go through character arcs, he's usually the one that affects change for the characters around him. He's the main character from our POV, but if you look at stories like Sonic Adventure, I mean, technically T-Call and Chaos are truly the main characters, right? Shadow the Hedgehog,
absolutely.
main character of SA2.
Let's see. Noemi, Hey there, welcome to the stream. Glad that you're here. I'm glad Frontiers added. Oh, I already read that.
But through his interactions with Sonic, ends up changing. Sonic in the Black Knight, Merlina, she changes through her interactions with Sonic as well. Sonic Unleashed, Chip, I mean, you could argue he's actually the main character. In Sonic Battle, the Gizoid, he's also a character that goes through change and kind of acts as the centerpiece of the story. Princess Elise from Sonic 06, a lot of these characters find themselves through the actions of Sonic, which is—
No, didn't I say that Elise was was pretty much the main character of Sonic's episode? I mean, again, they're splitting hairs. It's like, oh, Sonic's one of the main characters too. It's just like, well, whatever. I mean, I guess splitting hairs.
It's kind of why Sonic is such an interesting character to begin with.
I disagree. I think Sonic's fucking boring.
What do you think about the new Silver Movement? What do you think about his place as the potential main character of the series? Did some of this open up?
But I've already said that. I thought that this video was pretty interesting. I'm glad Silver's getting so much fucking love. But I think that that's where I'm going to end the stream because we've almost hit fucking 3 hours and I didn't even realize we were going to. Oh, good lord. I am looking forward to whatever else freaking Sega has in store for us, whether it comes to, Sonic or, whatever other games they might want to remake. I'm very hyped for it. I'm very hyped. Scylla says, do you think they could turn Sage into a good character? I'd hate that, honestly. I don't want her to be a good character. I don't want her to be like a heroic character. I feel like we already have too many characters that were good as antagonists that because they come in contact with Sonic, then they just become like good guys. And I think that I legitimately think that that's fucking boring. But that's just me. I like having more like nuance and anti-heroes and such, and I think that's probably why I like Shadow so much more than Sonic. Noemi said, well, I liked my favorite character, the Team Chaotix, Cream the Rabbit, Silver the Hedgehog. Well, hey, those are all pretty awesome characters, and I'm glad that you like them. Also glad that you're here on the channel. If you like Sonic content, I highly recommend subscribing because, well, this is pretty much what I do. I do other stuff too, but the main attraction is Sonic stuff. See, because I'm mixed on Sonic being a static character. Back to the Caldera Mines. I mean, I'm fine with Sonic being a static character because he represents the player, basically. And it's like, I think maybe people that play Sonic games don't want decisions, I guess, forced onto them. They kind of just want to run and, like, get from the beginning to the end. And I think that's ultimately what Sonic represents, is, like, a character that gets from the beginning to the end every single time. I respect it, but I do think that it's very boring, and that's why I gravitate to so many other characters, like, so much more. Blaze, Silver, Shadow. It's just like Sonic might actually be like one of my least favorite characters in the franchise. And again, I respect him and I understand why he is the way that he is, but that doesn't make him interesting to me. It's the same thing when it comes to like Master Chief versus Arbiter. Arbiter is my favorite character in Halo, and it's just because of how much he goes through and how nuanced he is, and just how compelling he is as a character. And I think that Master Chief, in comparison, is very boring. But again, I also understand and respect what he aims to be. Like, Master Chief and Sonic, I don't think that they're characters. I honestly think that they're vehicles for the player to get from, like, to complete the game. And, with a little bit of flavoring on top that looks like a character. And I think that that's fine. Everyone might not agree with that. But one thing that's more subjective is just I just find static characters just really boring. But I understand why they exist. Soul says, I'm fine with Sonic being a static character that makes all the other characters stand out and pop, Yeah, right. Again, like, I respect what he's there for. When Sonic was written better in the comics and stuff, well, I wouldn't know. I haven't read the comics. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this stream. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. Be sure to check out the Havoc stream channel for VODs when I do stream other stuff that's not necessarily related to Sonic. And if you have not already become a member yet, remember, if you do become a Maniac, you can see the video that's going public on Friday sooner, or you can wait till Friday and then watch it for free. That's fine too. DNA says, what's a static character? A static character is a character that doesn't go through an arc and that stays the same from the beginning of the story to the end. So good examples, of course, Sonic the Hedgehog, Master Chief in the original trilogy, I want to say Sora from Kingdom Hearts. I want to say Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Definitely the first one. Probably the second one too. Here that doesn't grow or change. Basically, yeah. So, but yeah, I'm going to end the stream here, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. And as always, I am Havoc, and I hate humanity. Bye-bye now.